Hello and welcome to another live stream of the Kennel NRL podcast. And today, the wins keep on coming, the dogs keep on breaking, all these, long-held beliefs and long-held rules and long-held statistics. They just don't care. These statistics don't matter. Before we went up to the Bundy, they're like, you know what, the dogs have only won 2 out of 9 in Brisbane or some rubbish like that. I don't look. All I know is I am flying. The dogs are flying. What a game on the weekend. We are stamping our claim. We are making our name. And we are here to claim everything. The Bulldogs are coming for everyone. That's what's happening right now. We are absolutely killing it. We are the form team of the competition. Not the Sharks, not the Roosters, no one. The Bulldogs are the form team of the competition. We have a lot to talk about today. Thank you so much for joining us once again. To all our members, to all people that follow us, welcome. Thank you for joining. And to everybody that's new, ahla wa sahla. We'd love to have you. And quickly just want to introduce my main man, Dibbo. What's happening, brother? Both our teams won on the weekend, eh?
Yeah, no way. I don't know, I'm not getting my hopes up yet, to be honest, in terms of the Dragons. But the Dogs, I feel like they were in the finals from 8 to 10 weeks ago. I just thought they were playing such good, consistent footy. Only way I thought they were not going to make the 8 if they had a crippling injury run. And fortunately, that hasn't happened. And look, they're challenging for a top 4 spot. I reckon at this stage, it's 50-50 at this stage whether they make the top 4. Yes, big odds. I reckon they can make it. I've seen George knock over Cronulla this week and Canterbury get the win against the Warriors. I reckon it's a formality that you guys will be in the top 4. Tell you what, you guys are making some serious inroads. If I was those top 2 or 3 sides, I'd be looking over my shoulder. And it's quite disrespectful if they're not looking over their shoulder because I think Canterbury's won, 11 out of their last 13 approximately, or 9 or 10 out of their last 12, something like that.
10 of the last 12 dogs?
I think they're probably the top performing side, maybe besides Melbourne, or maybe the Dogs are the best performing side in the last 3 months. It's not how you start the season, but it's how you're finishing the season. And besides that first couple of weeks, if you take out the first couple of weeks, Canterbury's sitting comfortably in 3rd and challenging for probably 2nd or 1st. And that's a damning stat if nobody wants to take them serious. So,
hey, look, I hope they don't take us serious because they don't know what's going to hit them.
And that I'll tell you now has been the downfall of every side they've played off. Not most sides, every side they've played.
But I think I just quickly want to say a big welcome to Hands and Heels. G'day, gents. Long time listening, first time commentating. Love the show. Flying over from Perth for the first week, mate. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on. It's so good that you can join us for the first time. Ben Daly, welcome. Shoey, Brian Dibb, Jamie Teasdale, Sal. Good to see you in here. Steve, Be Massive, Holden, Forever, John Sard. Welcome. Absolutely lovely to have everyone. And as Dibbo's saying, we're being underestimated. I think that we're being underestimated. But it's interesting on that point. While teams may not be taking us as seriously as we would like them to, what I think is very, very interesting is that every time we've come up against, I feel like they've played their best footy, and we've sort of ended their seasons. Like you look at the Raiders haven't been able to recover after that game in Belmore.
I don't think Canterbury's playing its best footy yet because I can still think they can turn on the attack better.
I agree, actually.
But they're playing such great footy that it's scorching sides and it's just having a lot of people still scratching their heads, and let them be like that. Also, just want to thank Canterbury for delivering that win for us on the weekend.
You're welcome.
That was a crucial win. It was, loved it. The boys delivered. Exciting footy up there.
And today, actually, we're going to go into the Dragons game in a little bit of depth beyond just, tell me what you think. Because I think as we start to get into the finals, the Dragons are, I think, a big player. I think that the Dragons will be there come September.
I hope so, but I'm not holding.
I think the Dolphins are faded, to be honest.
Well, the Dragons need to win their games.
We'll get to that. Let's get to that. But first, I want to talk about the Bulldogs and the Dolphins. There's one moment in that game that I think no one will ever forget. It was an absolutely amazing moment where Hammer hit 40 kilometers an hour and ran down a flying fox down the sideline, which I thought was, what a spectacle to watch that live and to see that happen. Honestly, I really wanted Fox to score that try because I thought it was really well set up by the boys.
I thought it was try time.
I did too, but the way Hammer was able to just hit that next level of speed and catch Fox.
I still reckon
was
Fox.
just remarkable.
I reckon Fox is still quicker than him. Few factors. He's got one of his, which I think was the right leg's heavily strapped, so he still obviously can't stretch out to how he likes. He's starting to age, Fox. What is he, 29 now?
I think he's just about 30.
As Brian Dibb will tell you, age catches everyone. I'll tell you, a few years ago, nobody gets him. He smokes everyone, even on one leg. Even now, like, if Hammer doesn't have that angle to cut him, he might have hit 40 Ks, but that was only for a part of the sprint. But if that wasn't a narrow field and he cuts him off on an angle, I don't think he gets him at all anyway.
Look, I think
it was a narrow field.
I think it's clear that Fox is not playing at 100%, which is okay because I think
he's still if he's not the quickest, he's probably up there in the top 5.
Yeah, 100%.
But I tell you now, he's probably the quickest player I've ever seen. Like they'll turn around and say, what's the tall guy? Saab, Jason Saab. From 0 to 20, Saab is quite slow.
He builds up pace over the long term.
Like even 20 to 40, he's now broken even to catching up. It's only the long sprints. Have you seen like in 0 to 20? Like he's losing ground.
Yeah.
Like his turnaround's very slow. Addo Carr's turnaround from 0 to 20 is probably the quickest. Up to 40 is impossible.
He actually used his speed in defense, if you remember, against the Dragons, where they almost caught him out and they threw a couple of passes. And
I think he got us twice. One of them was on Jacob Little, and for me, Jacob Little's the next quickest after Sloan in that side.
He's pretty.
I'll tell you now, Addo Carr. I mean, Saab is very slow from 0 to 20. It's the 100 meters. He gets in his stride.
But look, credit to Hammer. I thought that Fox took it very, very.
Sorry, I just love Fox. I took it personal as well.
Fox didn't take. Fox was like.
I took it personal.
He was very gracious in defeat. And Hammer was, you could see he was actually in awe of what Fox has been able to achieve. And they were talking together afterwards. I loved it. I loved it, man.
Brad, don't get your hopes up, mate, because Buzz is just trying to get in close before he turns around and stabs you in the back. He's been known for that. So I wouldn't want Buzz on that, or Fuzz, whatever you want to call him, on that bandwagon. Throw him off while you got the chance.
Look, I think it's interesting that Buzz Rothfield is on the hype
train.
Hang on.
Throw him off.
I'm with you. But let me just say, when your enemies start barracking for you and are on your hype train, you're doing well. Because Buzz, he tried to shit on Crichton, right? With the whole what's it called?
He's been trying to shit on Gould for the last few years, or for the last couple of decades.
Well, now they're actually exchanging SMSs, as he was the one that revealed that the Bulldogs were interested in signing Valentine Holmes if they can get him for a good price, and they were exchanging SMSs. So for me, it's I think.
Phil's always exchanged messages with anyone. He, doesn't.
Yeah, I'm with you, but the animosity isn't as bad.
Oh, Phil won't trust him.
Anyway. Buzz Rothfield. I thought it was interesting that he admitted that he was wrong about his predictions for where the Bulldogs were, and Brent Reid, he forced Brent Reid to admit, on NRL 360 that he was also wrong. So look, when someone like Buzz Rothfield is on the Bulldogs hype train, it's almost like they have no other choice. There's no way they can shit on the Bulldogs because we're doing so well.
I wouldn't give him time of day.
I don't. But
I'm just saying, I'll just ignore him.
It shows you how good our team's going, that even someone like Buzz Rothfield is on the train. But anyway, I don't really care about Buzz. What I care about, honestly, is that on a very, very hot Queensland day...
Jeez, they scrambled well.
They only let in 10 points against the Dolphins, who, mind you, have a really, really good attacking system there. They've got the Hammer, they've got Nikorima, they've got Herbie Farnworth, they've got, what's his name, Asako. They've got some really, really good attacking players. Katoa, you can't forget Katoa. They have some really, really good attackers, right? And they were only able to score 10 points, and one of them, for Jake Averillo as well, and one of those tries was off an intercept.
Yeah, Jake Averillo.
For me, it's like we can talk about, defensive systems and defensive structures, but it just blows my mind that we have only let in 20 points, right, in the last 2 games, one against the Dragons and then against the Dolphins. But I think what is just unbelievable, right, is we have now kept 7 teams tryless
in the
second half this year. 7 teams. 7 times this year, we've kept teams tryless in the second half. Like, I don't care what anyone says. That is next level.
He's got a defensive system in place. First line might not be the best. It's up there with the best. But the scramble's amazing. Who's your fitness coach? Who's your fitness guru?
It's Travis Tuma. So he's fitness and conditioning.
So Travis has been doing all that. Absolutely crazy because they don't seem to slow down at all. It feels like 80 minutes is not enough for him in terms of fitness. Even also, is he in charge? Like they've been injury free for large parts of it as well. Absolutely phenomenal. What are they doing less of and more of? Are they doing less weights, more strength and conditioning? Like what is the go there? Does anyone know? Brian, anyone?
I think it's, to be honest,
I don't know. Travis was at the Roosters for a while. If you remember, he's the trainer of the ball hit in the grand final when somebody kicked the ball. If you guys remember the Roosters-Raiders grand final.
I think, to be honest, it's more about what's... my shares just dropped again. I think it comes down to what's in their heads. I don't even think it's physical. Because for you to be able to scramble... For you to be able to scramble the way the Bulldogs are scrambling, for you to be able to continue to turn up for one another against much, much larger forward packs and not give up, and then for you to bring in someone like Harry Hayes, who's only played 3 or 4 games, and to perform the way he's been performing earlier in the year where Lipoi Hopoi, Sam Hughes, right, needs to be given a rap. For me, it's not only are they playing for each other, but it's up here. It's all in the head. He's got them believing that they can win, right? And I think what's happened is he's put it in their brain that they have the belief, but then they've gone out and also acted on that belief. And what's happening is there's the affirmation loop. So I'm telling you can do something. They go out and do it on the field. It comes back, and what it's doing is it's reinforcing everything that Serraldo's been telling them, everything that they worked for in the off season. You look at Marnie, and they ask Marnie, and they, when he talks after the game, they ask him, "Oh, hey, did you guys think you'd be here, this and that?" And Marnie said, "Look, it'd be arrogant for me to say yes, but we did anticipate this because we trained for it, because we believe in each other, because we fight for each other." And when you talk about Cinderella stories, when you talk about teams that can go all the way, I think 2024 is one of those seasons uniquely set up for a team like the Bulldogs to go from outside the top 4, right, from coming 15th last year to something magical.
I just think it's telling the biggest difference I've noticed in him. I mean, last year there was flashes of, great attack, like they were willing to attack, flashes of some strong defence. But it's just telling, like, they don't look tired at all this year. It just looks like they go the whole 80 minutes, whereas last year, they look like they'd be struggling for half time, for example.
I agree.
Even full time, there'll be instances like, geez, they're even going to cut the ball out at past 20 or 30 metres. But this year, no problems. Yeah, they're doing, 50, 60 metres a set. As the season's gotten on, they've gotten better. If you've noticed, their attack's actually gotten on as the season's they've started to pile on more points.
As Sexton's come in, as Sexton's got more...
And they're getting some bigger wins. Like, as the season, for the first half of the season or so, it was wins, but not as big as what they're having in the last 4 to 6 weeks. It just feels like they've improved.
Oh, and they're still improving.
And they're improving at the right time of the year. So
they're timing their run. Yeah. I think, like you look at the Roosters and, they're killing it. And rightly so. But I almost feel like the Roosters are going to peak early.
Who, the Roosters?
Yeah,
I don't know what to expect from the Roosters yet because, has Joey Manu came back or have I just not been watching enough footy? Because I haven't seen him. They still got Manu to come back. I don't know. Have the Roosters peaked? Have they got another trick up their sleeve? I don't know. Like, can they upset Melbourne or Penrith? It just feels like they struggle against those two sides. You get me?
Yeah.
Whereas 100%. Everyone else, they have a good run against. It just feels like those two sides.
I just want to quickly quote, so just read a couple of the comments. So Samira Williams, keep it in your pants, Elmo. Look, if there's one time where I can celebrate, and I haven't celebrated like this for the Dogs for a very long time, it's this year.
Out of every comment, you chose that one?
But no, there are more.
Come on.
Brian Dibb is saying, I don't rate Harry Hayes. He has a few holes in his game. I think it's a bit hard for a person that's played 3 first grade games at prop when he came through as a winger centre. I think he's developing into something special.
But don't you think he's doing a decent job replacing Sam Hughes just to relieve him? He's actually putting up some decent stats. I know it's just regular club games. We'll see if he's there in the finals. He'll show his worth in the finals if he does get a run. We'll see. We'll know where he's stands. It's only his debut year, don't forget.
Yeah,
so I think, Brian, we're being a bit over the top, expecting a lot already.
Yeah, I think we are.
Give the guy a
100%.
few seasons. So, he's only a
100%.
fringe first grader at the moment.
100%. He's look, 3-4 games in, the way he's doing it is just incredible.
A few people touching on it. Jamie, Steve, Pantelis, and then Hank, all touching on, fitness and guts and determination and mental strength. It's all there this year, boys.
Mate, it is there in spades and in bucketloads, and I think...
I mean, even if let's say, and it's been far few in between, which is good. Let's say the game's lost. I've seen the Dogs just going to that last minute, even if they know they can't win anymore. Whereas, I'll give you an example, St. George, sides like St. George, I was reading a telling stat. I think they're 12th best attack, 14th best defense, or something, or the other way around. And the reason why they're falling against is so bad is because they've won a lot of close games, but lost games where they were just flopped completely. We lost now. Let's just turn open the taps and let's just conserve ourselves. And you know what? It's actually put them in a pickle. They're like minus 80 or 90 or 100, whatever it is. If they competed to the last minute in those games, I think they'd be about break even or minus 20, for example. They could afford to lose a game, but...
It was that Roosters. They put on like 110 to 20 or something.
I think
like
they're
that.
minus 100 against the Roosters, minus like about 60 against the Dogs, just those sort of games.
Yeah. They definitely... And look, we said this before on the podcast. Their best and their worst is too big of a gulf between their best and their worst, the Dragons.
All they had to do was compete in those 80 minutes for those games and, negated the damage. And look, it might come back and bite them in the ass.
I think there's only 3 games the Bulldogs have lost by more than 6 points, which is the Roosters... that game in Gosford, and the first 2 games against the Sharks and the Eels.
And you know what? All right, first game we can exit off. That it was the first game of the season. Yeah. That Cronulla game, I thought they were the scoreline was
poor refereeing, but
I thought they were a lot better than what they got beaten by.
We had 10 new plays that game, bro. That
I thought
game,
the ref, he slugged you, and then there was the Roosters game. I don't know what happened there. I didn't actually.
It was
watch.
raining.
Yeah, it was poor weather.
We had instead of having Burton at 6, we had Hutcher at 6 and Burton in the centres because I think that was the game we played.
It was an experiment, in other words.
I think Crichton was out for Origin. Anyway, I think one person I want to call out. I think that needs to. People are still questioning him, and that's Burton at 6. I reckon Burton is so unsung for us. I just don't understand, I read a lot of comments and
where I think
stuff. I cannot believe.
You know where the stigma comes from? Or not stigma. We know where all that came from. I'll be first put up my hand. Before Crichton got signed, he was your marquee player. And those 2 seasons he was there, it was tough seasons. And everyone was saying, it's like Ben Hunt at St. George. Like, Ben Hunt's not a marquee player. Shouldn't be signed as a marquee player. And I think Berto, because it looked like he was signed as a marquee player, had a lot of unfair pressure and criticism.
But he was also young. He didn't have...
It was unfair.
But he didn't have a consistent 7 either. You look at
It was unfair. I'm admitting it.
Yeah, it was. And you look at how much he's improved now that he's got someone like...
now you got a Crichton.
You got a Sexton outside him, a proper 7 that can control the game, that can call the shots, that can get...
And you only get better halves next to him. I'm going to call it now. You can only get better halves from him.
Sexton has so much improvement in him.
But I'm just saying, you only get better halves from him. You will not go backwards. If he's ever do sign anyone else or bring someone else up, for the reserves, it's only going to be better, and that's something to look forward to. But and I'll be surprised if you don't reach the promised land. Within the next, I'm going to say 5 years. Not jump these through the roof within the next 5 years. I'll be surprised with the sort of roster you guys are building up, and where you're going at the moment. And I know your roster can only get better.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of rosters getting better, we've blooded all these juniors, and you have to you look at Morin, for example. I actually think Morin's getting better. It's hard to imagine that we doubted Morin on the bench because he's so small. Morin is getting better week on week.
Yeah, Trevor Gilmeister.
Every single week he gets better. Every single week he runs harder. He makes the tackles that need to be made. To be honest,
he's Trevor Gilmeister.
He is. He is I compare him to a lot to Ruben Cotter.
I'm waiting for him to put on bigger hits. No. He's Trevor Gilmeister, not Ruben Cotter.
You think so?
He's definitely Trevor Gilmeister. He's the same size. I just want him to hit hard. He's put some shots on. I just want him to act someone around the, around the upper thighs or around the hips, absolutely chop him front on. I'm just waiting for some of those big damaging hits. He's only quite young. How old is he? 22, 23?
Yeah.
He's still young.
He's very, very young.
And having a small size like him, a lower center of gravity, is actually to his advantage.
It's hard to tackle.
Yeah. Oh.
And he always seems to at least break the first tackle or poke his nose through. I always, you know what he might need to do is just maybe build like an offload into his game or something. Because
You remember Utah, how hard he was to tackle? Because he was a powerful runner and he was quick.
Yeah, it was.
Because he had a low center of gravity. This is the same with him for the forwards up the middle. It's a lot harder for him.
And now, I have to call out, I'm going to make this bold call, and you can disagree with me if you want. You can agree with me if you want. But I actually think next year, Kiraz will be putting pressure on the incumbent wingers of New South Wales for a position.
I was actually calling for him last year maybe to be a smoky. I thought this year, they went with Lomax. I was a bit surprised. I actually had Kiraz, to be honest. I was actually in the early episodes calling Kiraz, not Lomax.
He is a freak. So on the weekend, according to NRL.com, he ran for 297 meters.
Is he going to break the record one day?
2 line breaks, 2 tries, right? He's averaging 200. I think it's 212 or 213 meters a game.
That's crazy.
Right? More than much more than the next person in that list. And to be honest, for me, it is just remarkable. This guy has come from nowhere, sort of unwanted at all these other places that he's gone, and he ran for 297 meters. Scores 2 really good tries. And here's the thing that, maybe we're taking for granted as well a little bit as Dogs fans, is just how slick those backline tries were against the Dolphins, right, on the edges. I just love them. Those Kiraz tries where Sexton and Burton combined for the second one and they threw it across, it was just marvelous. Just seeing, Kiraz take that run and dive, and, there's so much. I just can't wait to see what we can do in the finals. What do you guys think?
No, those runs have been damaging.
Who's stood out for you guys on the game?
It's criminal if he doesn't get a look in. Think of it that way. Absolutely criminal if he doesn't get a look in next year. His form's been really hot.
It's been amazing. Steve is Brian's 30104 saying I didn't think Man or Sexton were good signings. I'm glad they've proved me wrong. Man has been unbelievable. He's having his best season in a very long time. He went to the Newcastle Knights. Adam O'Brien didn't know what to do with him, just like he doesn't know what to do with the rest of his team. And he's come to the Bulldogs, and Serraldo's made his role very, very simple. Go out there, run hard, tackle hard, right, and give the forwards hell. And it's just unbelievable. And you know what I was thinking about the other day is that someone like Watson for the Roosters is sort of playing the exact same role that Kurtman is playing for the Bulldogs, and they both left the Knights, right? Because the Knights couldn't figure out what to do with them. And I just thought that was a little bit funny. Man is just fantastic. It just doesn't, I don't know. When we were looking at this sort of in the beginning of the year, we were like, what's going to happen? Where does this go? What are we going to do? Where do all these people fit? And somehow Serraldo's managed, honestly, to do it and do it well. It's like this guy's a magician. He's just pulled one out of the hat, and props to him. He is coach of the year, I think, hands down. There's just no discussion with that. And Luke, Steve's mentioned Tom Amone is one fast sidestepping beast. Morin is a machine. I'm so looking forward to Tom Amone coming. I think he's not only going to add size, but I also think he's going to fit into the team really well. The guy runs hard. He runs fast. He's got a very slick passing game as well. He can pass, between the forwards. So there's just so much going on. And, next year just looks like it'll be... But before I even talk about next year, can you imagine if we win the grand final this year, Dibbo? If the Doggies go all the way and win the grand final, what?
I think we need to call the riot police in.
I think we need to call the riot police in either way, bro. If we just make the grand final, we're going to need the riot police. Luke...
I think Belmore will be a no-go. I think the area will be a no-go. There'll be police patrols everywhere because, there'll be a lot of... well, definitely Burwood Road in Belmore will be closed.
It'll be closed, yeah. And Luke is saying that I think Burton and Kiraz reached out. Look, I agree. I think Burton and Kiraz were the two that stood out for me.
Yeah, Burton was really good on that left-hand side, I felt.
Thanks for that tip, Dom. We'll work on that next time. I don't want to change too much right now while we're live, just in case something goes wrong. But for the next stream, we'll keep that in mind. I really appreciate that. So Mike Cool is saying, if we win is written in the stars, we are winning. Look, I'm the biggest optimist, Mike, but sometimes I'm just trying to temper that just a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how we perform this week against the Warriors over there at Shaun Johnson Stadium. It's a Friday 6 p.m. game. I think it's sold out. There's going to be a lot of emotion there.
Canterbury by 20 then, if they're playing off emotion. Canterbury by 20.
You think so?
Bloody oath.
I just don't think the Warriors will have enough.
There's never a happy ending with these sort of, the greatest player of our era is retiring. This home game's for him. I think Canterbury's got him. I mean, who's Canterbury missing this week? Anyone?
Well, actually, we get someone back this week.
Yeah, who does get back?
Max King.
Oh, that's awesome.
So our bench
is what's his name playing? Josh Curran, I think, was holding his shoulder at one stage. Is he playing?
I think the club was looking at resting him,
yeah.
But the club's aiming for a top 4, and we can't afford to rest anyone. So I think that he will be playing this week against the Warriors. Plus, it's his old team, and he'll be over there. And he played with Shaun Johnson for a couple of years. So I don't think he'd want to miss that one. So I think Curran will be playing. But I mean, at the beginning of the year, you look at our bench and you would have thought, what a soft bench with Bailey Haywood, Curtis Moran, Harry Hayes, Jamin Salmon. Let's say King does come in. Harry Hayes drops out for King. On your bench, you've got Bailey Haywood, Curtis Moran, Max King, Jamin Salmon. What a bench.
Thanks, Mohammed Sharif there. I'll see you a tip. Really appreciate it. Yeah, always every week. Feel free to add any suggestions or comments you like. Just on your team, is this your strongest team you've had all year now that Max King's back? Who's missing from the strongest lineup?
No, that is the strongest lineup.
That is awesome.
That is the strongest lineup.
I reckon you guys will get the biscuits. Everyone thinks, Canterbury need to lose one. I don't think so. I mean, it's not like, I don't think you guys have been overachieving at all. It's just some games I've just scratched my head and thought, why haven't they scored more points? I just feel like whatever that magic one that Serraldo and the wizard Phil Gould had, it's working sooner than I thought, to be honest. I didn't have his this high up. What is his 5th?
Yeah, 5th.
Challenging for 4th. I think we did our predictions and I had his 10th. I thought that was a big improvement on giving his 10th, but 5th. I think you had him, 6th? You had him in the top 8.
Yeah, I said 6th will be overachieving.
But I know you had him in the top 8. Honestly, I thought 10th. They're going in that direction. They've signed Crichton. I remember at the time thinking they've signed Crichton, they've signed Curran, they've signed Connor Tracy. I thought, yeah, they're definitely going to go up. It's not going to be 16th or 15th. And it's the manner they've gone up. Like, it's not like they've fluked wins this year or anything. Even the teams they narrowly lost to, they were like top teams. And there was that Melbourne game you guys should have got the win. Melbourne said that after the game.
We have been the most, and Fox said it, we have been the most consistent team in the competition.
100%.
I don't care what anyone says. I think we've been the most consistent.
I look at your team and think, how are they only 2 wins ahead of the Dragons? Like, they're leaps and bounds way better than the Dragons.
I think they're leaps and bounds way better than a lot of teams. Like, people are saying, Manly.
Like, honestly, I don't even think Manly's better than the Dragons. I think Manly's on the Dragons level or on the Dragons. I'll just put them on the Dragons level.
Honestly,
I don't know how they're only 1 point behind you.
I completely agree with you. Well, I'm not even talking the Dragons up.
I am actually surprised Manly are 3 points ahead of the Dragons.
Bro, the Dragons have had some... like that game they lost to Manly where Manly didn't have a bench.
Dragons, I don't know.
How the hell did you guys lose that game?
It's a demented team. I think I had the Dragons 15th or 14th, if you remember.
Yeah.
If we do a rewind, I tipped them for 5th because I looked at their roster and thought, I mean, honestly, who did Flanagan sign this year?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Honestly, he has not had any... He's jumped in. Honestly, like, tell me. To get him up in the 8, and it just shows you. Like, can you imagine if the guy had signings? But, all right, he had Leilua come back. He was a player from there, and Hame Sele. They were both juniors and played there. Went to other clubs, get a bit of experience, and come back. They're nothing top notch. Like, although Leilua,
but he's starting.
His only signings, literally Tom Eisenhuth and Jesse Marschke, who has even played first grade, and for Manu Brown from overseas. Like,
but he is making some good signings for next year.
Who? Valentine Holmes
and
at 30?
and Damien Cook
At 35?
Bro, hey, you got to judge. You got to trust your coach.
I am so harsh.
And we said the same thing about Kurt Mann from the night, and look how good he's played for us.
Kurt Mann, what's he got? I didn't actually think he was going to be a starter for you. I thought he'd be awesome coming off the bench, relieving you guys. Honestly, I thought Kurt Mann was one utility too many. I thought, and it's weird, I thought Curran would play more of that role, but now Curran's just slotted into the front row and doing a better job than seasoned front rowers.
Yeah, 100%. Bro,
and it's just like, dude, what is going here? And then you have Jamin Salmon. I know a lot of people would just, throw rubbish on him and all that. But he's been your starting second row, and you guys have been winning, and he's been doing all the dirty work for you guys.
Yeah.
And now your team's that strong, I feel sorry for him because it feels like he's not needed in the team. Like, that's how good your team is going. And I can understand your team. Can you imagine if you had a seasoned out-and-out front row? Just imagine.
And look, I think that's what Max King is for us. I think he's that seasoned out-and-out front rower. So you think if our prop rotation is Hughes, King, Curran, Moran, I actually think that's a decent enough front row rotation. I genuinely believe so. After what I've seen from the team, like when Max King went down, we thought there go our top 8 hopes. Or we got better. We didn't get worse. We got better while Max King was off for 5 weeks. Like that is.
Oh no! Hang on a sec. No.
We got better.
No, you need him there.
No, we do. Of course we do.
No, because you know what? He's a part of the reason why he's got better.
But I'm saying we continue to improve.
Yeah, but he played in all those weeks that he's climbed up the mountain to the point where the players now realise their role and ability.
No, but what I'm saying is when he went down, everyone's like, "Oh, he's our only established front rower. We're going to get worse." But we didn't let that affect us. Even though he wasn't there, we continued to improve.
To me, Sam Hughes is now established front rower. I know he's only in his second season, but it just feels like he's a senior in the team.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that a great sign or what?
It's amazing.
I just
want to give Mohammed Sharif. I know you shouted him out before, but I want to give him a shout out for his super chat. Mohammed, thank you so much for your donation. Well, I really appreciate your support.
I'm still unfamiliar with super chats. Sorry, forgive me. But
thank you so much. We appreciate all the support. And I just want to read out some of the comments here because I liked some of them. Some of the Luke is saying Curran is not someone we can afford to lose. Abdul Fanji is saying I reckon Curran needs to be rested for 2 weeks at least. Look, I reckon he's going to afford to rest him. Honestly, I don't reckon it makes a difference whether he finish 4th or 5th. I know he probably wants to finish top 4 because he fancies himself knocking over 1st or 2nd and getting the week off. I really can you imagine that though?
I can't imagine. I know what he's gunning for, and I admire and respect that because they're here.
Shows confidence.
They're here to take down the top dogs.
100%,
100%. You guys are the dogs, but you want to take down the top of the rung.
100%.
And if you finish 5th, you're getting poor whoever finishes 8th. Hopefully the Cowboys. But
Look,
you guys got the Cowboys still, eh?
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Dragons win all their games and Cowboys only stick 1 win in there. Do they got the bye as well?
I think they have the bye this week.
All right. And then hopefully they lose their last 2.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking. So it looks like the Dragons are playing either Cronulla or the Dogs at this rate.
Yeah, look. Yeah, Cronulla or the Dogs. Man, I don't even get started about Cronulla. The Cronulla can just get, I don't know. Anyway.
It'd be nice if they keep flopping and even Manly overtakes them.
Oh, man.
That'd be so good. I'll just laugh at
Manly can get stuffed. I'll
love to play Manly.
I have a good friend who's a Manly supporter who thinks that if Bulldogs and Manly were to come up against each other now, Manly would absolutely torch the Bulldogs.
No,
the blokes got no idea. I would say that Manly will struggle to score more than 14 points against us. That's what I think.
I think you guys got the best defense at the moment, so that's a fair shout.
Can I just read out some of the statistics? And this is what's blowing my mind.
What, the Dragons 14th and 12th?
The Bulldogs have the best defense in the competition, right?
Yep.
We have the least amount of tries scored against us in the competition. We've kept 7 teams tryless, pointless in the second half.
Yep.
We are undefeated at home.
Wow. Is that including Ackle?
Including Ackle.
And he's also took a home game away.
Yeah, to Bundy, and we're
That's
undefeated.
Phenomenal. When was the last time you guys went a home season without a defeat?
It's been
a season without a
very, very long time.
That's phenomenal. That's telling you. What's this like button I got? Nice.
We have the best defense in in any 20-meter zone.
Yep.
Of any team in the competition. Yep. Right? We give away the least penalties and 6 against in our own 20. Can you believe that?
Such discipline.
We give away a lot of penalties, but not in our own 20.
And that's with Sutton against us as well.
That's with everybody against us.
Wow.
Right? And then We are the only team that haven't had 30 points scored against us.
30, wow.
We're the only team that hasn't had... the most we've had scored against us...
Is that miserly 28? Now, hang on a sec. What about Para? What did Para score against you?
18.
In that first round?
26.
Is that all?
I think so, yeah.
And everyone made it sound like they scored 40 plus on you.
Nah. No.
Jeez.
And that was, that was the first game that we played.
Somebody's asking what I'll take for me to wear a Dogs jersey. I'll tell you what, if I get time, maybe more, what are they called, super chats? Maybe more super chat tips, and I'll definitely put one on. I'll tell you what, if I get time, I will go out and get I'm going to choose a vintage Canterbury jersey. If I can get my hand on either a Hyundai one, 95, I have fond memories of that year. I still remember your team from that year. It's either 95 or I'll settle for an 85 to 88 HFC finance vintage jersey. The Mortimer years, so Terry Lamb Mortimer years. So if I get my hand on one of those two vintage jerseys, I'll definitely put it on for you guys next week or the week after as soon as I get time.
I just want to give a call out to Akanji, who's just given us a $3 super chat. Absolute legend. Thank you for all the support. It means so much to us.
Somebody gave a stat. 1953. Jeez.
The last time the Bulldogs were undefeated at home for the entire season was back in 1953, where there were 2 draws.
You know what? Okay. Well, Souths won the grand final that year, so
they did,
against the Dragons as well. So, but the Souths aren't in the 8 this year, so
the last time
things are going better now. There's no 2 draws.
100%.
Do you have any more home games left?
Yeah, we've got 2.
Okay.
Cowboys and Manly and Cowboys.
I hope you guys absolutely spank Manly.
I hope we put.
You know what? I hope Manly don't win a game either. I'd love to overtake them.
I just don't really. I hate Manly. I'm not a fan of Manly
Nobody
at all.
loves Manly.
And let me tell you, I reckon they. Honestly, I think that they're flat track bullies. They're pretenders. I feel like every time they've come up
against
against
31 points, who have they beaten of note?
I mean, they
almost beat the
They
Roosters.
did beat the Panthers
with no one.
Yeah, they had half their team out. I think they did also. Have they beaten the Storm? I'm not sure. I think they may have beaten the Storm.
Must have beaten the Storm with no one as well.
But they've played decent in patches, but they've been inconsistent, right? So they've lost to some teams, they've won to some teams.
So they're like St George, because St George somehow had wins against. I was about to say Melbourne with no one, but then I remembered Melbourne had their team.
Yeah,
St George has beaten Penrith with no one.
Yeah, that's right.
Once they got spanked the other.
But so have the Sea Eagles. So
they're very similar. Somehow one's 3 points against the other. Anyways.
Oh, thanks, Jamie. Jamie Teasdale's super chat, $2. We make the top 4. Dibbo wears Dogs jersey every game. What do you reckon, Dibbo?
In the finals?
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe the week. I don't know. I've got to see if the Dragons make it first.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got to see if the Dragons make it.
I'm not. I don't know, man. Everyone's talking like the Dragons are in, and the Dolphins are only 2 points behind, and Brisbane's 4 points behind, and Dragons are minus 1,000. For and against. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I think I already gave the reason why they're in the top 8, but yeah.
Quickly, I think that the thing about the Bulldogs is, and I'm going to make this final sort of comment about the Dolphins game, is the Bulldogs are starting to use fitness as a tool, just like they use a long kick or a high kick. Like it's literally part of their plan. We are going to outlast. Like you look at the Dolphins, I'm sure the Bulldogs could have thrown the ball around a lot more.
I think I'll tell you what, I think Cam's main concern, first and foremost, was the fitness and strength and conditioning.
100%.
After the season they endured last year. And then he put defence in there. And then I think third priority was attack, and it showed. But that's why you've probably seen a stellar improvement as the year's gone in regards to the attack. Can you imagine next year? Now they've got the fitness and they'll keep the fitness going. And now they know the Dolphins
game. Just looking at the Dolphins game, right? You look at in the last 10, 15 minutes, the way they were tearing the Dolphins. Like in the 75th minute, right? The Dolphins were sort of on our 20, and I think it was Nicarima or someone that put in a grubber or Katoa. They had nothing. They were spent. Like, they didn't want to be out there for another 2 minutes.
Hammer. The only time Hammer ran freely was when he was chasing down plays.
Yeah. Otherwise, he was well marked. Herbie Farnworth got a couple of offloads off, but he was so well marked by Creta. Like, they tried. And, and there was that tackle by Burton again. Just the amount of work that Burton does.
They're just they're like chihuahuas, the Dogs. Like, they just keep coming at you.
Like that
try doesn't stop. Somebody makes a half a break there. Another player comes.
It's just...
Say he gets the offload, another Dogs player comes. As just like, dude, when are you going to stop and slow down?
It's been one of those. It was a good look. It was a great game to see. At no point did I feel like the Bulldogs were.
You need a battering ram to get through them.
At no point did I feel like the Bulldogs were ever going to lose or were in trouble of being affected or in trouble of losing that game. I thought we had full control and we probably could have gone away with it a little bit more. But I also think that Cam is a smart coach in that he's looking for those signs of just absolutely wearing teams down, because that's how you win finals games. Yep. Not by being the flashiest, not by being the best looking. It's by being the hardest working. That's what wins you grand finals.
And look, just to reiterate, someone like Mr. Sharuk, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Sharuk. Yep. Am I right?
Yep.
He's touched on it. They're using the system of also getting the halves to run the ball out of their own half.
You mean the backs?
Like say dummy half scoots or kick returns. Yeah. I mean, kick returns are given, but first ups, maybe first couple of hit ups. Like Kiraz, he's such a tackle buster. He must probably top the stats in tackle bust for the comp, I reckon. He's a damaging ball runner. Who else? Bronson Sherry's not to be underrated, but it's caused problems for the oppositions because those backs are running the ball back as much as better than the forwards.
As hard as forwards, yeah.
And the forwards are, they're not spent, and then they just got to, they've still got the same energy throughout the whole game. Yeah. It's a good system that Serraldo's employed there. Instead of dummy half scoots, they're doing one alps. Like, I remember Brian Smith previously used to have an exit set.
And I think Connor Tracy's been very, very important to that as well, because when you look at every fifth tackle in our own half, every fifth tackle is always Connor Tracy. It's always Connor Tracy. He always takes the fifth.
I think he doubles up as a half.
He does.
He did play half previously, didn't he?
He actually came through as a 6.
He's a good runner. He's a brilliant runner.
He's a great runner.
He's a strong runner, so he's another one that can take a one up. Yeah. I know he's only about 85 kilos.
Houses. But just while we got you here, we got 62 people watching. Welcome to everybody that's new. I just want to put it out there. If you can just give this video a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you are subscribed and you like this content, please be sure to share it with all your footy loving friends. It really helps boost us in the algorithm. So if I could just get you to just give this a thumbs up. I've got 63 people watching. I want to see at least 63 likes. It just helps put us in the algorithm. So please, if you can, just give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Share the podcast with your friends. And also, recently we hit 1,000 members, and we've actually opened up memberships to support the channel for $6.99 a month. What you can do is you can actually support the Kennel podcast. Help if you enjoy our content, if you come on here and you watch all our stuff, all we ask is if it's something that you can afford and if it's something you're comfortable with, that you become a member of the channel. What it helps to just pay for everything that we do. Running the podcast, we're not here to make money. Honestly, it's for the love of the game, love of the Bulldogs, love of the Dragons. And what it does, it gives you perks. So if you look at Abdul Finch, for example, he's been a fantastic member. What it does is it gives you a little Bulldogs logo next to your name. It gives you perks. So we've got some really impressive guests coming on, not only in the next couple of weeks, but also
thanks, Oregano.
Over the next month and in the finals, we're going to have some players come on here and preview the finals games with us, discuss the finals results with us. We've got some really, really big things happening for the finals. And what we'll do for all our members is, if you remember, what we will do is we'll open up a session where we'll take your questions specifically to ask all the guests, and we've got some really exciting ones coming on. So if it is something that you're interested in, we can drop the link in the chat, and just if it's something you can do, it'll be great just to get your support. But other than that, we love you all. We really, really enjoy all your support. We've got 64 people watching. You guys are the best. And to have 64 people watching live, like, it's so humbling for Dibbo and I, because really, do you remember when we first started 18 months ago? We said if we can just get people bantering with us and talking to us live, it'll be fun. It'll be good, and this is what we're hoping to achieve. And to have 64 of you on, honestly, wallah, it's such a privilege and honor to have all your support.
Yeah, look, I just want to thank Zatar, aka Oregano, for his support. Much appreciated, mate, for the super chat. There is a burning question, and somebody raised it about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
who it might have been Jamie or B Mothman, or I think it was B Massive. Sorry, someone forgive me, but now it's come up again. Timothy Gray and Zatar again's asking the burning question. What do you guys think of Regan, Campbell, Gillard? I'll give my opinion. Personally, I don't think he suits the Bulldog system. I do rate him. I don't know, just the way the Dogs are going. I don't know. Does he fit in at the Bulldogs? What do you guys think? I don't think he fits in at the Bulldogs. I think he's good for other sides, not the Bulldogs. I think he does need to exit Parramatta. You know, I mean, I do rate Regan. I almost like his biggest fan. I'm almost about to say how much he loves him right after this. Bloody hell. How about that, eh? The guy you've been having a, you know. Oh, can you believe it? Imagine he joins his. You'll be on his.
I'll be honest with you.
I reckon he'll do well. If I don't know. I just don't. He'll give 100%. I don't know if he just suits your style.
I think.
Does he suit the Canterbury style?
I do. I think that for the right price, I think Campbell Gillard will be fantastic for 1 or 2 years while our props develop. Why I think that he's good is because he's previously worked with both Gus Gould and Cam Seraldo, so he's not coming into a whole new system. He'll know how they operate. He'll know what's expected of him. He'll be a battering ram for 20 to 40 minutes. And don't forget... I
love some of the replies. They're good replies. How you going, Mark? Mark Jessup.
Well, welcome, Mark. Welcome, Adele Klink, to everyone that's joined us.
I like the, I'm just sorry to cut you short, but I think Brian's putting a good point. Zartar's, Adele is saying he's an ex-Panther, so he'll fit right in. I mean, how many players you got that are ex-Panthers? 4 or 5 now?
Look, I've never rated Regan Campbell-Gillard as a great prop. I think that...
Jamie won't touch him because he's an eel, so...
Yeah, look,
so was Jamin Salmon.
I don't know where he fits. If like, even when you look at Yuto Ikamanu, it would have been a great signing, but even then, right, if you buy another prop, Sam Hughes, now you start to question, where does Sam Hughes fit? Where does Moran fit? Where does Hopboy fit? Where does Hayes fit? Like, all these players now that we have in the team that are building, they sort of go back to New South Wales Cup, and they sort of get stuck there a little bit. So, I mean...
New South Wales Cup, it's not a bad thing. It's not a graveyard. Honestly,
I'm not saying it is, but if you look at the development...
Spots are that competitive at each club that it just feels like, I'm going back, I'm going to build up my game, I'll get my fitness back, or I'm going to get, show them that I deserve to be back in first grade. It's not the graveyard.
But don't forget, we've already signed Tom Amone from the UK, who's the UK's leading prop. There's no denying it.
Who's that who's that player you guys signed from Souths again? Anyway.
Oh, Liam Knight?
No, the other one, the better one.
Daniel Saluka. So Daniel Saluka for feeder. You've got Tom Amone coming. You've got Setili Tupanua from the Roosters coming. Don't forget, we've also got Carl Olawapu, who could play lock, who could take over from that position that Kurt Manny's playing. I think he'll play a lot of New South Wales Cup next year. But after that, I do think he can become a really damaging lock. He's got great defense. If you remember, he put that great shot on foreign last year against the Titans. He's got passing, kicking. I think he'll be great. So for me, I almost feel like we don't need to buy anyone at this point. I know it's a bit cocky, but, I don't know if we need to buy anyone anymore. But that's just me. But then again, like, the Bulldogs are interested in buying Valentine Holmes. Like, what's the deal there? Why would you buy Valentine Holmes?
Were they? Was that genuine?
Yeah. So
probably for the right price.
Yeah, obviously for the right price, but where do you slot him in? He's not coming to play in New South Wales Cup. Who do you drop?
But you got your centres set. Like, Bronson's great. You got your wingers set.
That's right.
And you even got your fullback set.
Yeah.
So that's a weird one.
Yeah, it is a very weird one, but...
I mean, you look at your back line, like Connor Tracy on a 3-year deal or 2-year deal?
3-year deal. I'm pretty sure Connor Tracy was on a 3-year deal.
Kiraz probably long-term. When's Addo Cast's contract up? Next year?
Yeah, so he can start negotiating from November of this year with other contracts.
So, and he'll be 30 next year. And, I know he's starting to age, but he's still in the top 1% quickest players in the game. And I reckon even by the time he retires, he'll still be in the top 1 or 2% quickest players in the game. So,
and I reckon he's only playing at 70 or 80% right now.
Exactly. So. He's going to, by the time he retires, he'll still be up there with the quickest. That's what he's got going for him.
100%. So Brian's saying the finals will determine if we need to sign anyone else.
I reckon only middlemen, Other than that, I think your backline's set.
So if you look at Kira, we've got Kiraz, Hughes, Moran, Tom Amone, Daniel Saluka for feeder, and then we've got Setili Tupanua.
I think they're just waiting for that one.
Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't have to be world class, but former rep player season front rower that you guys, probably one front rower really. That's about it. It's good. Everyone will be competing for spots. There'll be depth cover.
I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, if we're going to sign a prop, I reckon we go for Daniel Saifidi. Why would you go for Regan Campbell-Gillard?
Yeah, he's young.
Safiti's younger. He's got more of the mongrel.
I think he's got hunger because he's had a few underwhelming seasons at Newcastle, and he's probably hated playing 25 minutes a game.
100%.
When he went from being a state of origin forward to all of us. I mean, I don't understand what the go is there. He's so underutilised. Even his twin.
Yeah.
Why don't they both?
Adam O'Brien is just... Yeah, he's poison for that club.
I thought they got a bit hard done by on the weekend, but yeah, it's good that they've been put.
They did get hard done by.
So.
Now, talk about the Dogs. It's I can't wait to watch the game on Friday. Sorry, against the Warriors. King. It's the same 17 with the exception that King is named in the reserves.
Dogs by 20.
I reckon King comes onto the bench in place of Harry Hayes, and we were able to counter their...
Who else you got? So you got Harry Hayes, you got King, mix... so King's what, 19th man or something?
He's like 22. He's in the top 22.
All right, leave him out. Maybe give him a rest. Probably playing mind games. Unless Josh Curran will get rested.
I think that... Look, I don't think...
He was holding that shot, and he's holding that shot for the last 2 weeks. I'd rather rest him now rather than losing him.
I think Josh Curran's okay. I don't think Josh Curran will be rested. Not against the Warriors.
No?
I think he'll want to play against his ex-teammates in New Zealand. I think he will, especially with the occasion. I think he'll want to play, and I think King comes onto the bench.
Mr. Gray, welcome to the kennel.
Timothy, thank you so much
for signing up. Now.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Part of the family.
Thanks to everyone that signed up. Thank you so much. Yeah, Jonathan Sewer and Wilson are great young wingers. We've got Wilson re-signed. I think they'll extend Wilson. He'll be a Bulldog for a long time.
What about that other pocket rocket you guys got? He plays in the reserves at the moment.
Josh Papali'i?
Yeah, Josh Papali'i is further knocking on the door. What happens there? The sad reality is you can't keep them all. If he's there with you guys next year, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a run in first grade.
I think we still have Hayes Perham as well. He's off contract at the end of the year. I'd be interested to see if they resign him.
I'll keep, Hayes, I think he's improved somewhat at the club. I know he's only played the solitary game this year.
But I reckon he'll be so good this year.
Yeah, I just think Joash Papali'i. I mean, he's been making headlines from last year. He's again around. Is he running around next year? I reckon
he's with us. He's still a bit young. I think.
And what's that big giant also? Jack Underhill, is that his name?
Yeah, Jack. They re-signed him recently for 3 years till 2027.
He's actually a big unit.
He's good. We got the Jordan Samrani as well. Can play centre. Can play second row. He's also really good.
How old is he? 18, 19?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know he's a bit older than that.
Eli Clark's a rocket, man.
Yeah, we got the Jordan Mazzoni as well, who's very, very quick. He's very quick. He's incredibly quick.
Is he quicker than the Fox?
I don't know if he's quicker than the Fox, but you see his highlights. If he makes a break, he's impossible to stop.
How old is he? 18?
17, 18, I think. He's very young. So
Jeez.
I think, what's interesting?
Where's that all happening? Are they coming out of Greenacre Tigers and Barella
Bears
all of a sudden?
Yeah,
and the Moorebank Rams?
So I think it's interesting
that... Moorebank Rams? Yeah, it is.
It's interesting, the Warriors, they've got Luke Metcalf at 6, who I think is their best option at 6. I rate Luke Metcalf. He's had a very bad season with injury. Their forward pack is Wade Egan's back for them as well, who I think adds a lot. And they
were going good when they had Metcalf, and then he just went down.
Yeah, Metcalf's incredible. It's interesting. They've got Chanel Harris-Tavita. They've dropped him to 18. They've got Luke Metcalf there
instead. The season's done now, so...
Yes,
I think Sean Johnson...
Yeah, I think Luke Metcalf and Tamare Martin will be there 6 and 7 next year. I think that's a very good combination for them. But for this week, I thought Sean Johnson had a horrible game against Manly. I feel so bad saying that because I know he's retiring. I think
Chanel's shown me good signs. I know he's missed those crucial kicks.
No, I think you can't judge his play just on those kicks.
No, I'm saying Chanel. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think Chanel will be a starting half for him next year. I like what I saw from him in the last month. Yeah, they got good options anyway. I think Sean, I think his body told him the answer.
Yeah.
You could tell. Last year he was good, but you could kind of like sell. He was nearing his use-by date.
Yeah, I agree.
It was only a matter of time, and
I agree.
Yeah, this season they'll let him go on next year. So, what is it now? This is his 15th season. Incredible. 15 seasons. Or 14 seasons, whatever it is. Incredible.
And look, he's been a great servant for rugby league.
One of your favourite words, incredible.
He's been fantastic. He's
been incredible?
He's been incredible.
Thank you. I wanted to hear that.
Incredible. Happy? Incredible. That's what Sean Johnson... And look, I love Sean Johnson. Zatar said we send the SJ out with a bang. I think we will.
Yep, by winning by 20.
Yeah,
so
I don't think.
Dogs.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those ones where the Bulldogs will go and make a statement. It'll be a statement game. It's going to be one of those games where we prove that traveling isn't a problem for us. Wherever we play, definitely. We're not going to worry. Like we've travelled, right? In the last 5 weeks, how much have the Bulldogs travelled? And we've still managed to win all but one. We said if we win 3 out of 5.
Well, who did you guys lose to? Oh, the
Cowboys,
Cowboys.
2
Yeah,
points.
I saw a bit scratching my head about
Yeah,
that.
I am too. But
And then he's answered with a good win. The
massive
following.
win against the Broncos. Right, we went up to Bundy again. We won. So
Beat
it's
the Dragons in a
beat
packed
Dragons,
cover.
yeah, it's-
convincingly as well.
So-
They've been all convincing wins.
They have been. They're very comfortable wins.
Yeah.
And at no point, like, did we ever feel like the Dragons were going to beat us or
No,
the Dolphins were
yeah.
going to beat
They
us?
weren't
With
in
all
the
due
game.
respect, right?
They were
So-
not in the game.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be a tough game for the Warriors. There's going to be way too much emotion in it, and I just don't think they're going to be able to play objectively and play for the win. It's going to be play with a lot of emotion, and the Bulldogs are going to come out there and just kill it. I think the Bulldogs are going to come out. What's the thumbs down for? Who the hell thumbed me down? What did I say that got the thumb down? Tell me.
Must be the red hair.
Yeah, I don't know. You must hate Rangers. Anyway, Adam, I think, the Warriors, I don't think the Warriors will have it. I think the forwards it'll be a good battle up front. But once again, I think we outplay and outlast the Warriors. I think we win by about 26. I think the Bulldogs win by about 26.
Yeah, I hope they don't, show us up because the way they've been playing has been absolutely fantastic. Russell's Oz Adventures.
Welcome, Russell.
I'm going to
Sahada,
follow
thank
that
you
channel.
much.
So
Yeah,
when I
me
get the
too.
chance, I am going to follow. If he's got a YouTube channel and he's like a Russell Coy All Aussie Adventures, man, you know what? I watch those, and I watch a lot of the other guys that go around the top end and the outback, and I'm even down the bottom towards Victoria on those nature adventures and fishing trips and whatever. So, back on topic. So,
Yeah.
who,
Yeah.
Russell's Oz Adventures. Everyone give Russell's Oz Adventures a follow if you're watching. So
Welcome to the fam.
I'm going to watch those videos.
We've got 70 people watching now. So if you are watching, just give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe.
Apparently it's us.
It's
You
our
know what?
hand gestures.
So apparently it's you on your Apple laptop because that's what somebody else, Zata, pointed out further. You know what? Dom, I think's a tech whiz.
Yeah, Dom.
I think we got to replace him with our producer. The producer's looking uneasy in the background.
Mike Cool saying, I'm worried about their game against the Warriors because they'll most likely be up for SJ. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Zata, you're the NPC, yeah? Don't get started.
I don't know what NPC is, but anyway.
I think, look, who makes the top 8? I think that 1 to 7 firmly locked in. The only position in the top 8 that's questionable is that 8th position, whether it's the Dragons, the Dolphins, the Knights, the Broncos.
No. It's either the Dragons or the Dolphins.
You don't think the Knights and Broncos have a chance?
No. Because I can tell you now, one of those two sides, the Dragons and the Dolphins, are winning at least 2 out of 3.
I don't think it's the Dolphins. I don't think the Dolphins have it in them.
I mean, you know what? I looked at the Cowboys draw. They got the bye this week, right? Which could, it gives them a nice rest, but can also land a few of their players suspended for a month or so with off-field shenanigans. But they got Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then they got you guys.
Who's that?
The Cowboys.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That could be 0-2. I know they got Melbourne at home, but they could be 0-2. Like, if the Dragons go on a winning run, they'll go ahead of the Cowboys. If they, I know the Cowboys got the bye, but I honestly think, looking at the draw, I don't think the Cowboys win another game for the rest of the year.
Look, I think
they haven't been convincing.
Adele Klink and Tariq Ahmed are going to be happy. They're our resident Cowboys supporters. But they were after that loss that they suffered. They were very, very downtrodden by it against the Broncos. Like, they lost 40-18 to the Broncos.
I don't think the Cowboys win a game for the rest of the year. It's now dependent on.
You're right.
And you know what? Imagine the Dolphins go on a winning run as well. The Dragons and the Dolphins the Cowboys could potentially slip out of the 8.
But see, the Dolphins will be versing. The Dolphins are versing Melbourne as well, so I think that'll be a tough game.
I'm just saying, if the Dolphins win all their games,
and then they've got the Broncos in a derby, and then they end with the Knights. Yeah. So I think it's a really. I'll be honest with you. The Dragons need to
win 1 out of 3.
The Dragons need to do themselves a favor and win. It's all set up for them.
It's a tough game against Cronulla this week. Really tough,
bro.
Game.
You guys are playing better than Cronulla. I don't give it, bro. Cronulla does not. I don't think Cronulla will get far again in the finals.
Are Cronulla missing players this week? I hope so.
No, actually, I think they get Hines back.
Oh, even better.
Or Trindle.
For us.
Actually, no, sorry, they get Trindle back this week. So they get Trindle back this week, and then
Who gets a rest? Atkinson or
no Atkinson? I think
or
Atkinson
Brayley
has
goes
to
back to hooker?
Yeah, Brayley will go back to hooker.
I thought Brayley's done a decent job deputising at 7. I mean, honestly, for someone that plays hooker for most of his first grade career, I think he's done pretty good.
I think.
I mean, I'm not saying he's this. He's great and anything. I thought he just did pretty good.
I thought the Titans were just really shit when they smashed them, and then this week against the Knights, I thought the ref was very much on their side, and the refs are always on Cronulla's side. Like the Cronulla never get bad calls.
Yeah, Newcastle, I thought. Yeah, they didn't get the calls.
Yeah.
Cronulla got a lot of hometown decisions.
Hometown decisions.
I'm looking forward to Cronulla sliding out of the top 8 next year.
I want to talk to you about the Dragons though against the Titans. I thought that was a great showing.
Can I say, and I'm fuming he didn't get longer, but that suspension to the coach's son, I'm going to refer to him as the coach's son.
Yep.
Because there's all nepotism there. So I'm going to continuously say coach's son was a blessing in disguise. Quite annoyed he didn't get a lot more because he would have, also gone into next year. So it would have made it really hard to get a starting spot back. But it reinforces what I've been saying all along. There's at least a few halves better than him at the club. And I was always of the opinion of Jesse Marshke being a much better half. And I'll stick by that. There's another guy, Glover, who we got a few guys who still hasn't played first grade. That's a better half. And just to reinforce it even more, Jack Bird is another better half.
Do you guys?
Option.
How did you guys think? You guys went with Jack Bird at 6, and
way
should
better.
Marshke have been there?
I think it was great. Marsh's got a great running game. Jack Bird was taking the ball to the line. I've always maintained Hunt needs a running half next to him, somebody that straightens up the attack, takes the ball to the line. And so we got Flanagan that runs sideways, and then everyone talks about his defense. Dude, he's a half.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about his defense first and foremost? Talk about his attack. Anyways, now you can see it's a real sore point with me. And, I think if they don't have him there from the start of the year, we have Marshke, I think we win a few more games.
You think so?
I think so.
How did you think they went on against the Titans? I thought the Titans were desperate, and they sort of showed that, but you guys came out.
I thought the Dragons could have been... I thought the Dragons blew a few tries in that first half. I mean, it was made harder for us in that second half where I still don't know why Jack got sin-bin for that, honestly. He didn't raise his arm, didn't lead with his shoulder. The other guy ran into... He just tackled him like that, and the other guy ran kind of like... He didn't even get suspended. If you look at
it's a lotto. Honestly,
this week.
The sin-bins are a lotto.
He's playing this week. Like, they've noted there was no intent. The guy, it's just unfortunate what happened. Anyways, I thought the Dragons could have been up, like, closer to 40 at half time in terms of the points they could have piled on.
Oh, calm down. Far out.
I ain't kidding.
We give the Dragons some good... You think they can score 40 points in one half?
They already scored 26. They blew a few. I'm talking fair dinkum. Anyone watch the game that's unbiased.
Not in one half, bro.
Against the Titans, the Titans were dreadful.
No, I don't think so.
If you watched the game, I'm sure you didn't watch the game.
No, I did. I actually did.
They could have
been. Of course, I watched. I haven't missed the game bro. I haven't missed the game all season. I have not.
They scored 26. They blew a few that made me think, how do you lose that ball on the try line? Anyways, but then in the second half, sin-bin, a few undisciplined. Gold Coast could have chased them down, but I guess the Dragons held firm in the end. They
played for 80 minutes, which is something that your team hasn't been able to do. You know what?
The Dolphins were creeping back. I mean, not Dolphins, Titans. Why do I keep calling them the Dolphins?
But I don't know.
Because they actually came in as the Dolphins.
Yeah, they were the Gold Coast Dolphins initially.
Incidentally, this is hilarious. Or, it's great that Redcliffe did what they did. Remember, Redcliffe took them to court?
Yeah, that's right.
Because they said, we envisage ourselves entering the NRL in the not-too-distant future. And lo and behold...
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, kudos to the Titans. They kept fighting, and it was getting nervy for the Dragons. But you hit the point on the nail on the head. The Dragons kept playing. They didn't let them back in. Well, in the end, they got 16 points. I thought it was a fair scoreline, to be honest. I think Gold Coast. I hope they have a good run next year in terms of injury. They get Tino Fa'asuamaleaui. I want you to say his name. Can you say?
Fa'asuamaleaui.
Yeah, thank you. Whaitaka didn't play on the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't play on the weekend. He's been a big out for them.
Have they signed anyone else for next year?
I don't think they've made any signings.
Anyways, they get two of their forwards back. Hopefully they have a good run next year. And hopefully, I know Keno Keeney had a great game on the weekend. But I just feel like, what's the guy that came off the bench? He's played State of Origin. He normally plays fullback, but they're all using him in the centres. And he plays in the halves.
AJ Brimson,
I think he's wasted.
Yeah, I think one of them needs to leave.
Honestly, I don't know who. I mean, Brimson either Jaden Campbell. I think he's better off at fullback as well, and Brimson, and then you got Keeney. So you know what? I'd probably put Brimson maybe in the halves. I don't know. I just feel like he's wasted.
I agree
It's
with
a
you,
dilemma
and I
that
think
Des has.
I think it's affecting his career as well. That
Because he's got good fringemen in Fafita and the other guy, what's his name? Khan Pereira.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
absolute whippets.
Yeah, that's right. Jojo Fafita's incredible. He's so big,
Does
so
Fafita go in
fast.
the centres now? Does
No, well, I mean,
Brimson
AJ
go on the
Brimson.
wing?
AJ, I don't think Brimson can play wing. To be honest, I think he's either a center or a fullback. But anyway,
It's a tough one,
I
man.
think the Cowboys will make the 8. I don't like they're on 32 points. All right.
Yeah, I know.
They're on
They'll
32
probably
points.
make it because the Dragons and Dolphins won't win all their games.
Yeah, so they are on 32 points. They will make the 8. It's the Dragons. 8th is the Dragons to lose.
I reckon if you guys spank the Cowboys that last round, you will absolutely render. If they do make the finals, you will render them useless. So whoever plays them in that first week will have a cruisy game. You will absolutely demoralise them.
So let me ask you this, and this is one of the fan questions that we had on Facebook, and the question was: if the Dogs make the when we make the finals, the Dogs against the Dragons at Accor, do you think?
Do you reckon that's going to be? Do you reckon the Dogs? You know what? I actually got the Dogs finishing higher than 5th. I got them now sitting 4th
Do you think
based on form.
we can pack out Accor Stadium? Do you think our set of fans in the finals we can get close to 80,000 at Accor?
I reckon because it's the first week. I reckon there'll be. Ooh. I mean, it just depends. I know you'll get about 15 to 20,000 Dragons fans. It's a amount of Canterbury fans. I was going to say 50 to 60K. But if Canterbury gets 60,000 of their own fans there, then we'll definitely sell it out.
I think that Dragons fans will. They'll come to play.
I reckon 15 to 20K.
Nah,
max.
no, bro, it's down the road. It's not even that far.
I'll just reiterate and hate me as
Stop
much as you
shitting
want.
on your club and your fans,
No,
bro.
I'm not shitting on the club, but our fans are a bunch of tight asses, and I hope you're all watching this. You know, you don't like to spend. He's got tight pockets. You don't even like to travel. The generation that used to like to travel, they're all old now. But it's the next generation that just got tight pockets. So I hope he's all watching that. You know, you don't compare to the Canterbury fans.
And that question was from Arthur Papp on Facebook. Now, my genuine belief, and honestly, guys, I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think we can come close to selling out Accor if it's Dogs v Dragons week 1 of the finals? My honest
I'm
opinion
tipping
is,
50 to 60K.
I reckon we get closer to 75.
I'll tell you what, if they get 50 to 60K, I think that's the biggest first week finals crowd ever.
I reckon we get 70K. I reckon that the Dragons fans, especially because it's against the Bulldogs, we want to go out there and stick it to the Bulldogs fans to say, you guys, we're just as loud and we're just as passionate
I'll tell
as
you what,
are.
if they had finished 1st and 4th or 2nd or 3rd, we definitely would get that.
Bro, the Dogs being 5th and the Dragons being 8th, in the context of the last 10 years, for both teams, it's as good as finishing first and second.
I'll tell you now.
I'm telling you.
No, I'll tell you what the difference is. The Dogs, their fans are always, you know, when their teams perform, even before their teams perform, but they can see there's a roll on getting. Their fans will come out and support.
Yeah.
They'll spend on the club. You've seen it all. The Dogs fans are out of the woodworks at the moment. The Dragons fans, a lot of them are still not out of the woodworks.
Bro, if you guys make the finals, everyone's going to be out of the woodwork. I'm telling you.
If they make the second week of the finals, then they'll come out of the woodworks. It's the first week.
Nah.
You'll get a lot, but not all of them. I know how Dragons
I reckon
fans
you're
are.
underestimating them. I honestly think if the Bulldogs and the Dragons play each other first week of the finals, if it's a Saturday night, I reckon you get 70 to 75,000.
Dragons fans only seem to come out when it's preliminary final onwards.
But on a Saturday night against the Bulldogs, they won't want to be drowned out by Bulldogs fans because you can guarantee at Accor Stadium, Bulldogs home game for Dragons versus Bulldogs, you'll have at least, I reckon, no word of a lie, you have 50,000 Dogs fans.
So do you want to finish 5th?
At this point, as we're in the finals, I don't care.
So you don't care? Okay. I actually had the Dogs finishing 4th based on form.
So I'm gonna
actually think
I'm gonna
Cronulla
get
will
to that.
slip up.
I'm gonna get to that. There's a question by Abdul Fenj that was asked on Facebook. I'm gonna get to that, but I just want to. Honestly, I reckon we can go close to selling it out, Dogs and Dragons. I reckon Dragons fans will come out to show support for their team. They believe in what Flanagan's doing, right? And they would want to try and stick it to the Dogs fans because
you guys are 2 points behind Cronulla?
2 points behind Cronulla.
It's 1 win separating them. Cronulla's got the Dragons, Manly,
And
a bye.
No, they don't have any buys. We'll talk about that. But yeah, so you don't think we can sell it out?
It's not because of you guys. It'll be because of the Dragons fans. Because I'll tell you now, I'm not convinced they'll come out of the woodworks.
Even on a Saturday night? Even on a nice, warm spring Saturday night, you don't think we can sell it out?
No. It's not you guys.
Oh, I don't know. I think you're being a bit harsh.
I'm being fair income. I'm telling you now, if Cogger fitted 30, we would have got 30 on that night. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, that extra 10 or 12,000,
Yeah.
majority of it would have been Canterbury fans extra. They would have snapped that up. You would have had probably another 4,000 Dragons fans.
Yeah.
And then the rest would have been snapped up by Canterbury fans. And still people would have missed out. I'm telling you now, they could have moved that game on that Saturday night to Allianz, which is a 45,000 seater. And I'll tell you now, we'd have got 40,000 plus.
Yeah.
And if we didn't sell it. It's great. Like, it's great. I really, honestly, next year, and as a Dragons fans, people will disagree, but just that rivalry, the tribalism, I love for both sides for pretty much the whole year from the get-go to either be sitting in the top 4 or 1 and 2.
100%.
With the Dragons number 1, of course. But
yeah, good luck.
but I'm just saying I absolutely enjoyed that night. It was one of the most enjoyable nights I've had in a long time. Not because we're in finals contention, but because both sides, are doing on the business end of the season.
And there's something to play for.
And there was something to play for.
Yeah.
And it was so good. Everyone was well behaved and all that. Everyone was respectful of each other. And it was good banter between both fans.
Yeah.
Although we got smashed that day, but it was a good feeling. It was such an enjoyable night.
It was great.
Hopefully I don't have a GoPro in my hand next time, but yeah.
No, I'll be doing the GoPro next time. But you did a great job, by the way. Now, so Abdul Finch has asked, what are the chances of the Bulldogs making the top 4, looking, Manly Cowboys and Sharks fixes? What you think is a better option?
I'll tell you now, if you want to be fair dinkum, Canterbury make the top 4 based on form? Whether he's back this week or next week. I mean, even if he has a blinder this week, Nico Hines is not an Andrew Johns type of player where he turns on the screw straight away. So I reckon Cronulla got another 1 or 2 losses in him. Honestly, I'm being fair dinkum.
My call is this. This may be absolutely biased. I
reckon Cronulla's unsettled at the moment.
I think that the Bulldogs will end in the top 4. I think we'll make the 4.
I don't think it's biased. I'm looking at form and everything. Like Cronulla's been scraping wins. They do not deserve to be in the 4. They had a great first 3 or so months with more than a few hot hometown decisions. But
100%.
It's starting to unravel. They've had a few close wins as well. I feel like they're just a bit all over the shop.
And let me give you my logic, right? I think that the Sharks, and you look at the Knights, right? They played a very, very, I know it was a desperate night, but a night that's actually really down on form. They beat them with the help of the referee by 1 point. Sure, they didn't have Trindle or Hines, but I don't think that Trindle or Hines have that magic touch where they change things dramatically. If the Dragons come to play against the Sharks, I think the Sharks lose.
I hope so, man. But when you got Blake Laurie in your team,
if Manly come to play against the Sharks, I think the Sharks lose. I don't think the Sharks.
Is that game up in Brookvale?
I'll check. It is. Yes, it's in 4 points.
And I think I'm seeing Turbo the best he's played in a while. So
he's feeling confident, and I think that the Seagulls will also.
You guys got Manly as well.
Yeah,
loving this.
And I think the Seagulls will want to stake their claim for a top 4 spot or stake their claim in the finals. You don't want to lose that game. The game leading into finals.
Dragons got a weird one. They got Cronulla, then they got.
The Sharks have Warriors at PointsBet. That's the second last. That's round 26. So. Do I think we drop another game this season? I genuinely don't. I don't think we drop another game. I don't think that the Bulldogs will want to falter this close to the end of the season, especially when a top 4 spot is up for grabs. So that's my call. I think that the Bulldogs will finish in the top 4 because I think that our defense will be too good against a team like the Seagulls who will buckle when put under pressure. Cowboys, I think will be a bit tricky, but we'll get them at home and we'll keep our undefeated at home record.
I hope you guys demoralise them, especially if we're going to make the finals. That'll be nice.
No, look, I think so. And look, I don't think it matters who our referee is. I think that the Bulldogs will come out to play and they won't let the teams. And honestly, I don't think that we'll concede more than 16 points a game this year moving forward.
When was the last time you guys had a week off in terms of a bye? I'm just touching on something that Mike Cool's brought up, and him and Steve, but
it was the week before the Cowboys.
Oh, it's only been about 4 weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, it hasn't been that long.
Oh, okay. I was about to say you guys probably need a rest, but if that's the case, no. I mean, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt you to finish 5th and not have a week off.
Yeah, look,
your boys have been well looked after, well maintained in terms of fitness, injury, and nursing. Little niggles.
I don't subscribe to that. You can't win this many in a row to win the
That's
grand
a
final.
load of BS. What about the teams that have gone undefeated or lost one game the whole year?
Yeah.
We didn't hear that. There was no need. It was just proof you didn't need to lose. You just keep going. You're as good as every week.
And here's the thing, right? We have a coach with finals experience. We have players with finals experience. So I reckon we make the top 4. And I actually think we're a good chance at beating. I'm not saying we will beat Melbourne, but I think that Melbourne are going to be in for a shock if they think we're going to be a walk-up win.
Oh, I think they're going to dread playing you guys. Honestly,
I think we are going to be the worst team to face.
Oh, hands down.
That's my genuine opinion.
I think they'd rather play Penrith than you guys in the first week, to be honest.
I mean,
I'll be honest.
Look, and with an underdone Nathan
Cleary,
Cleary,
recently played Penrith.
Yeah, that's right.
Away, and there's no, Cleary's missing.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think might be missing until the first week.
No, 100%.
I reckon Penrith beats Roosters even without Cleary. Like, I can't see the Roosters beating Penrith.
I can't say Roosters before. I think Roosters are not only cocky, but I think that they're peaking a bit early. That's what I genuinely think. Roosters are peaking early.
I don't know what to expect of them, but just from what I've seen, they haven't even threatened Melbourne or Penrith. They haven't shown me they can beat any of those sides.
I think they're very vulnerable. They're good when they're good, but they're very vulnerable.
Whereas, like Cowboys, Dogs, for example, in my opinion, are a better chance of beating those two sides than the Roosters are. That's just my giving you an opinion, basically. Even Manly, I reckon, in that sense, have a better chance of beating Penrith and Melbourne than the Roosters do.
Yeah.
It's like the Dragons. The Dragons, I don't know. I think the Dragons can't beat, besides the Cowboys and Manly, I can't see them beating anyone else in that. Or maybe Cronulla, I can't see them beating anyone else.
I don't think Cronulla could keep up with the
No, I'm saying the Dragons. The Dragons, I can't see them beating anyone else in the top 8. Like, there may be a chance against Cronulla and Manly and Cowboys, but I can't see them beating anyone else. Like
they did beat the Storm with their whole team.
It's the finals, man. Come on.
No, you're right. But, yeah, I think we make the top 4. I think we... Look, the thing is, if we lose another game, I think it's because we've rested players and Seraldo thinks that our players need a rest. But I also don't think that Seraldo is going to be cocky enough to say, oh, hey, let's rest our players because, we've been up the top for so long. I don't think we have that mentality. I think we have the mentality where we want to win every single game. And that's why I think we make the top 4. Abdul Finch is saying Dogs have to win all 3 to have any chance of top 4. Don't forget Sharks are ahead on points difference by 40. Yeah, look, I agree. I think that we have a very, very strong chance of winning, of making the top 4. Now, want to sort of look forward to the Dragons and the Sharks. I think that we need the Dragons to repay us with a favour after we beat the Dolphins.
I better check the Sharks lineup. Like, I've looked at the Dragons and Blake Laurie's still in the lineup, so that's a downer for me. But I'm about to open up the Sharks lineup because somehow I should probably report them for spam. I get their emails of their team list. They call it Taco Team List Tuesdays. I don't even remember subscribing. I think everyone got
While you look at that, Daniel Watson has said Sharks aren't what they were, but they have a soft run and are essentially 2 wins ahead with the for and against. Look, I
thought your for and against is similar.
No, I think it's a 35 or 45 difference.
That's plus 20. That's easily negated to one game. You guys win by 20 or 30, they lose by 10. Negated.
Yeah, it's a great point. And look, I think people are underestimating their run. They've got a very determined Dragons team to make the top 8, and they've got a Manly team that's actually playing very, very well. I don't think it's as easy as people think.
Dragons team playing well. They're so inconsistent. 1 week good, 1 week crap. 1 week good, 1 week crap.
You don't think they could beat the Sharks?
I mean, look, I looked at Cronulla. I feel like swearing at them. Now all of a sudden they want to bring back Braden Trindle, Teague Wilton, K.O. Ara, and Tom Hazelton, the big body Tom Hazelton. So he's been missing for a while. But they lose Talakai, the damaging runner Talakai. I thought he was one of their best on the weekend. He was hard to contain. And Sione Katoa on the wing. So Sam Stone Street, who's a whippet, is back in the lineup as well. Wilton comes back in the second row. K.O. Ira, he's a powerhouse. We're missing Moses Sully at the moment. So
he's a big out for you guys.
Yeah, Brayley goes back to hooker. I'm just having a look. Yeah, look at their team. But I hope they have a shocker, especially their forwards.
Their bench is just so big.
Look at this. Look at their forward pack. Toby Rudolph, don't know about Brayley. Oregon Kafusi is a giant. Brendan Nakora, who's just their answer to Jaden Sewer. Teague Wilton, Cam McInnes, Jack Williams. Jack Williams runs like crazy. Royce Hunt, Braden Hammond-Ueli, Tom Hazelton. That's just a crazy...
I don't understand why he's got Raymond Faitara there at 17. I think I'd rather have that Lycan King Togia or Michael Molo there.
He's probably, if you look at Cronulla's bench, they're all big boppers. He's probably trying to negate it. I reckon he does what Canterbury gets.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Small, quick forwards around the middle.
100%.
And try to defend and scramble well. But, you look at the expanded bench for Cronulla, and there's, names there like Hao Tapua. He's a giant. He's missing out.
Is Fafita still...
And Chris Vaila, yeah.
Is that Fafita still suspended?
Which Fafita is this? The Dragons... Man, his form's been inconsistent in reserves. Come on, man.
Yeah.
With the Couchmans the way they're going,
I think the Couchmans...
You know what? Honestly, I probably would put Fafita on the bench. Blake Laurie was our worst against the Titans.
Bro, you know
I was
what?
still scratching my head how he even
The
gets
Couchman
named.
twins are so good. The Couchman twins are so good, man. I'm so happy that he didn't want to rush them in, and I think that's a good idea. Right now, we've got 72 people watching. Quickly, just want to say, please be sure to like this video. Just as you're watching on your phone, on your computer, just give this a like. Be sure to subscribe, share it with your mates if you like our content. And as we say, we do have memberships to sign up to if you did want to support the podcast. $6.99 a month just helps us with the upkeep of the podcast. We're not here to make money. We just want to try and cover some of the costs if it is something that you'd be happy to contribute to. But yeah, look.
I'm just looking at the Cronulla lineup, and I've just got a laser on Teague Wilton. He's actually sponsored by one of our competitors, so
yeah,
I hope they'll be smashing him on the weekend. So,
so all right, so he's where sort of the rubber hits the road. It's going to be a very interesting game of footy, and there's some interesting. Quick shout out! Very happy that the Tigers ended up winning against the Rabbitohs.
Did we both tip them or what?
We did both tip them. We both tipped them, and they came through. Very happy that they won. He's hoping that they can win another one, and they can cement the wooden spoon for the Eels to prove that Trent Barrett is literally the worst thing that's ever happened to coaching since rugby union. He is. I don't know. It's just. What he does to teams to make them lose, I don't know how he does it. I don't know what he does.
What did Rob Ramsey retract?
I don't know.
Probably wrote the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Abdul, I disagree, mate. Respectfully disagree. Manu is a threat. He's a freak. Jared, although still vicious and effective, I think he'll be negated by the other forwards, and Kiri's not the player he once was. He's still classy and everything, but...
I think we're much better than the last time we versed them.
I know everyone says last game is a motivation and all that. Don't buy into that, man.
Finals
honestly,
is finals.
The opponent, you're as good as you turn up on the day. So,
And I think people are forgetting how important momentum is. The Bulldogs have momentum. We have momentum. Don't underestimate the momentum. I think the Dragons are starting to build some goodwill and momentum.
Don't start that again.
Come on. I think, and look.
They beat Melbourne, tailed up by the Dogs, scrappy win against the Titans. And then if you go back the week before Melbourne, they lost to someone and I already forgot who. So, yeah.
I think the top 8 is set. These are the teams that are going to be in the top 8. What order they're in, I think will still change. I don't think the Dolphins will come in.
Dragons got a weird one. They got Cronulla. Can they get past the Cronulla hurdle? But then... They got lowly Parramatta, and it's at Parramatta Stadium. And I'm just worried, will they get hot hometown decisions there? You know how Parra normally gets home
Look, you got to take the decisions out of that.
And then they got Canberra, who'll probably be dirty. They're not going to make the finals and want to play spoilers at Cogra.
Have you seen how bad Canberra played?
I know, but honestly...
We broke them at Belmore.
But Ricky Stewart, knowing Ricky... he's probably going to want to spoil the party for us. So it's a tough one.
I think Knights...
They actually got a tough one.
Look, I think the only team I think that deserves to make the finals other than the Dragons at 8 are the Dolphins. The Broncos don't deserve it. The Knights don't deserve it. The Raiders don't deserve it. Titans, unfortunately, have been way too inconsistent. So I can't even say...
The Raiders just went woeful the last 6 weeks.
They just don't deserve it. All right, they're a tough team, but I just don't think... I just don't think they deserve it. So I'm very, very, very keen to see that come to fruition. If it is the Dogs and Dragons, you and I are both going to that game, and it's going to be a remarkable game.
Is this an Accor?
Yeah, it'll be an Accor.
I'll tell you one thing. I normally don't go to finals games because, even over the weekend, I got a text message saying you better not be at the game today.
Why don't you go to the games?
Because everyone reckons, including at work, reckons when I go to the games, the Dragons lose.
Bro, don't start with this bullshit superstition.
No,
you lose because your team's shit, not because you went to a game.
I know, but it's funny. You know the 2010 final series?
Yeah.
everyone told me not to attend any games. So I actually sat at home throughout the final series. And they won every game, like I'm not allowed to attend games.
Zata, if you're as annoying in real life as you are here, then I don't want to go anywhere with you, brother. I'm sorry, I'm talking shit. But look,
I'm not allowed to go to games like finals anyway. The ones that count. I
Why
go
not?
to club games.
Nah.
Everyone reckons I'm. Everyone just.
your loss, brother. Your loss. Look, personally, I'm the type of bloke that loves to sit on the TV, scream
I'll
my
not
absolute
be-
head off.
I'll generally just go to
punch a
eat.
couple of durries. Have some, have like
Do you reckon-
a sparkling drink with me because I get so tense and anxious at games. So sometimes I do prefer
Do
to
you
watch
reckon El
finals.
Jana will get a workout at Accor Stadium?
Oh, bro,
How
what
good's the food there?
bro? But listen.
Free advertising,
can you
guys.
imagine the atmosphere though? Dogs against Dragons, final game, 80,000. Mind blown. I can't think.
Are tickets going on sale or not yet?
Yeah, I think they're on
What,
sale.
for the first week of the final?
I think you can buy them early, can't you?
But don't know where you're playing or who you're playing.
Yeah, it's true.
And how
Oh,
do you
that's a good point.
get who gets first dibs?
Yeah.
Is it members?
Look, I don't think we'll run out of tickets because it's an 80,000 seat
yeah,
stadium.
but I don't want to be sitting in the nosebleeds.
Nah,
or
you want to
behind
get
the back
you want to
post.
get good platinum tickets.
I want to be sitting on the 40 or 50 meter
You
line.
want to get good platinum tickets.
But unfortunately, I have a job and a lot of people don't have it. No,
Yeah,
screw
yeah.
this. But anyway,
So let's do this. Let's give our tips for the week, right? So it starts off West Tigers and Eagles at Leichhardt Oval.
West Tigers and Seagulls.
Yeah, Leichhardt Oval.
I think the Seagulls will get up this week. I like how the Tigers blooded some youngsters. That fullback in the
Heath
headgear,
Mason.
Yeah, he was good.
He was very good.
Jai Gray of the Rabbitohs. I think they're both good ball players as well, the way they play. He was very confident, that guy on debut, and he's only 18 years old.
He's great.
That was
He's great.
fantastic.
I thought Samuela Fainu is
Mike Cool, I know they haven't won for a while, but they can't keep losing, and the more you lose, the closer you are to a win. So, the law of averages demands it. So surely they're closer to that win. If it's not this week, at Leichhardt, then it's probably in the next visits coming up.
You're gonna laugh at me, but I'm actually gonna tip the Tigers here by 6.
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
I just think
Manly
that-
missing anyone?
No, so they are.
I mean, if Manly lose this week, then, I'll tell you now, if Manly lose this week, then they won't even finish 6th. I'll tell you now. They might find themselves finishing 7th or 8th. I'm being fair dinkum.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because they got the Sharks still and they got the Dogs. If they lose this week, then they win nothing for the rest of the year.
I reckon the Tigers might get up here.
That'd be fantastic. If Manly go 0-3 and the Cowboys go 0-3, the Dragons could usurp them into 6.
It's true. Look,
That'd
it's
be
true.
awesome. If Dragons win all their games, they definitely usurp them.
What are you tipping, West Tigers and Seagulls? And what are you guys? What are
I've
you guys
gone the
tipping?
Seagulls. I've gone by 16 because somehow, I don't know how the Tigers only conceded 3 tries on the weekend, but the Tigers' defence is the worry I got from there. They always attack well. It's just their defence is my worry.
Dogs and Warriors. Look, I'm
Dogs by 20.
Yeah, I'm tipping Dogs by a lot, only because I think that the Bulldogs will have too much mentally and will be able to grind them out and defend too much. Broncos and Eels, 2 shit teams going at it.
Where is this at?
This is at Suncorp Stadium.
I'll go. Broncos got a full lineup.
No, so they're missing Reece Walsh, but Selwyn Cobbo's back. Jesse Arthurs is back. They got Josh Rogers at 6.
I'll go Broncos by 22.
I'm actually with you. I actually think Josh Rogers is going to do very well in the halves with Adam Reynolds. I think he's a lot better than.
I don't even know
Ezra
who
Mam.
Josh Rogers
is. Is he young half? I think he's a better half than Ezra Mam. I don't think Ezra Mam is a 6.
Yep.
So I'm going Broncos by plenty up there. Hoping Tristan Saylor has a good game too. I thought the last time he played against you guys, he wasn't that great. But we'll see how that goes. Then it's Raiders against the Panthers at GIO Stadium.
Oh, in Canberra.
Yeah.
I still think, I hope so anyway. I think Luai will steer around. The Panthers otherwise got all their players back.
Yeah, so Fisher Harris is there, Leota's there. The one,
Isaiah Yo's there.
Isaiah Yo is there.
Nice.
Their 9, Kenny is suspended for a week.
Who's playing there?
So they've got Luke Summerton starting at 9. And then on the bench, they've got the Trent Tolau, who I think has done a great job. So I'm still...
Schneider in the halves. He played for Canberra anyway before he came across the
Yeah, he did. And look, I think it's interesting that they're not playing Sunia Taruva. They're playing...
Panthers by 100.
They're playing Dane Laurie at on the wing. I don't know. I think it'll be closer than we think because Jordan Rapin has gone to fullback. So I reckon it'll be I reckon Panthers by 12.
Yeah, all right, that's a good shout. I was going to say Panthers by 14, but that's a good shout. I'll take that.
Dolphins and Storm in Melbourne.
Melbourne
By 6.
Melbourne by 18.
I think that the if it's not too hot,
You know what it is?
I think it'll suit them. It'll suit Dolphins.
It's those Melbourne backliners of Anderson and Hovarth.
Yeah, Howarth has been
And
so
the other
good.
guy that never stops.
Will Warbrick, Nick
they
Meaney.
never stop. Even paper thin Pappenhausen. I know he's had a lot of injuries.
Well,
but
actually, they've
doesn't
got Wishart at on the wing because I think Anderson's injured.
Oh yeah, that's right. Did you see Wishart last week
He's a
against Burton?
freak.
He turned
man.
the game
He's
around.
a freak. You know what I'm surprised with? Christian Welsh is on the reserves.
It's that knee injury. He hasn't been able to. Sometimes those injuries take a few years. To be honest, I'll be fair dinkum with you. But you know what? That's good news. He's not a bad player. He's still doing.
I think he's a great player. He's got a good
offload. It just
offload.
shows you how good the rest of those Melbourne players are doing. You know?
Yeah, look,
I couldn't question Bellamy, to be honest.
yeah, I don't question him, but
He's always like top 4
I'm
every
saying
year.
Storm by 6 or 8. That's my point. That's what I think. Knights
on,
against the
Melbourne.
Rabbitohs.
Knights and Rabbitohs. Where's this one at?
This is in Accor, so Knights
Ooh.
Rabbitohs home game.
Besides Latrell, who are the Rabbits missing? Cody Walker, is he out?
Yeah, Cody Walker's out with concussion. They got Dean Hawkins at 7.
I'll have to go Newcastle on
Yeah, I think there's too much. I think Newcastle
much
still
players
fancy themselves
out
to make
now.
the finals potentially.
Newcastle by 14 or 18. I'll go 14.
I'm going to say Newcastle by 6.
Oh, another close one. Oh,
Titans Roosters
where's this one at?
up at the Gold Coast and Seabus Super Stadium.
Roosters by 24. I think the Roosters are going to bash them.
Roosters by 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That easy one against Parramatta, so they'll be still fresh.
I think Titans will come back. Will try and.
Oh, that'll be nice for everyone if they do, but I don't know.
I don't know if they will, but they'll try.
Yep.
But I do think that the speed of the back line of the Gold Coast Titans will worry the Roosters.
Yep.
I do think that someone like Kinney, Khan Pereira, even Jojo Fafita may worry them. It's just if the Titans can have some mental tenacity about them. That's where I think it will be won and lost. And then last game, Dragons and Sharks.
Was that the last game?
That's the last game on a Sunday at 4 p.m. As we know, it's at Wynn Stadium. I'm going to call Dragons by 12.
Elmo's never right, so I'm going to go Sharks by 8 or 10. Sorry, Elmo.
Would you say Sharks by 8 or 10?
Yeah.
Bro, you're going to be regretting that. I'm telling you, I reckon the
Dragons, come on, you even pointed this out a few weeks ago.
What's
Honestly, the one time you were right, the Dragons are never consistent. Well, they are consistent, 1 win, 1 loss, but they can never string more than 1 win in a row. Have you realised that?
But I actually think this week is a little bit different. I think that there's belief now.
I don't know. Like, look at the forward packs.
No, it doesn't matter.
Like,
the Roost,
I'll give you an example. Cronulla's worst forward in that whole team, it might be Royce Hunt, and he's better than most of our
they
forwards.
don't hunt as a pack.
And then look at our forward, Blake Laurie, fair income.
Hang on. The Sharks don't hunt as a pack. The Sharks are a pack of individual props.
They got Tom Hazelton back. Hopefully he has a crap game.
He's the one difference for
Hopefully
them.
they all have a crap game.
But Braden Trindle's back, right? Atkinson's back. Atkinson will be there.
Mulatalo's there. He's a danger every
Mulatalo
game.
there.
Sam Stone Street's a whippet. He's always in it.
Bro, as long as you guys play for 80 minutes, I reckon you win.
I don't know, man.
Don't forget when the Sharks were at their absolute peak and you guys were playing like deadbeats, they only beat you by 10.
You know what? I reckon the key would be who plays 6, because look, I've noted one thing. Marshke's now been named in 21.
I don't think
Marshke came back last week in the reserves because he was out for about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
He's only played 2 games in about 2 months, and they've both been
Bird was good
games.
for you guys, man.
He was. So I don't know. Maybe he'll slot Marshke in starting and put Bird in lock or on the bench.
Actually, that would be.
But he needs attack. I don't think the Dragons' defense is going to get him home. Well, maybe if Cronulla's crap. If Cronulla's halves don't produce.
Cronulla could only score 18 points against the Knights.
Yeah, but Knights are decent. You know,
They're not. They've come
good
they're
late.
not decent.
They've come good late.
Bro, the only players that they've got that are putting 100% in for them are Ponga, Fletcher Sharp, right? And Gagai. Everyone else is just going along for the ride.
You know what? Back to that game. What about Will Kennedy on the weekend with that save?
Bro.
Did you see that 2-on-1?
Yeah.
That was game over.
Yeah. I thought, honestly...
And Newcastle in the finals hunt.
I thought Ponga was going to throw the dummy. I didn't think Ponga was going to pass it.
No, somebody threw it late to Ponga.
No, it was Ponga that threw
Wasn't it Gagai that threw it
No,
late?
it was Ponga
Sure?
that... Oh.
No, it wasn't. Ponga was waiting for it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm certain. And I think it was Gagai that held it up late. Or was it... Yeah, it was Gagai waited late. Somebody
Maybe.
correct us, but I know it was Gagai.
I just thought that pass didn't need to be thrown. I think they.
I think Mike Cool. I think you're dreaming it's going to be 91-6. Turn it up.
No way.
91-6.
Wasn't that 90? No, it wasn't. Was it? Was it
91-6?
Wasn't it? I thought
And it was
like
a 3-point try error.
Wasn't that 91-3 or something?
No, 91-6.
Anyway, yeah, I reckon the Dragons.
Can I point out something?
Dragons. I reckon
The
Dragons
Dogs
will win.
finished ahead of the Dragons that year anyway. I ain't kidding.
Yeah, so I reckon Dragons will win. Legitimately, I think the Dragons. You know, and you know what? You know why I say
Come
that?
on, man.
Look, if the Dragons need to play for 80 minutes. If they play for 80 minutes and believe they can do it, they'll win. You know why they'll win? Because they don't have Cole Flanagan. That's why they win.
The attack might be better, but I'll just look at our forwards. Like, you got the Couchman boys. They're still young. Like, I know Flano said they weren't ready for first grade. They are.
Now they are.
They are, but
Yeah.
I just feel like they're probably 1 or 2 seasons away from challenging those Cronulla forwards, for example. You know, look, it'll be a nice surprise if they do beat the Sharks on the weekend, but I'm rightfully going to how I observed it. I still think Sharks got a better forward pack. I mean, if the Sharks halves have a crap game, and hopefully they do, and the forwards just don't do anything, I'd love that. I'd love for the Dragons to spring an upset and Cronulla have a disaster of a game. It's good for me. We're pretty much finals bound, and it's good news for you guys.
Yeah, it's good for the Dogs. I mean, look, I am hopeful. I know that the Dragons disappoint their own fans, so there's no doubt they're probably
It's
going to
not
disappoint me.
I don't have expectations. I still look at their roster, and Flanagan's jumped in, but he's hardly had signings. Like, so
Yeah,
rather, you know what? Canterbury attract way more players.
Hang on. Forget that. Let's look at the context of the season. They are riding high. They had a good win. Can they
Against lowly Gold Coast.
Yeah, you're right. But they were desperate. They still believe they can make the finals. Can they play that same type of footy
They'll have to play
against the
better.
Sharks?
Come on, Elmo. They'll have to play a lot better. Come on.
They will have to play better.
Oh, you got to hope that Cronulla just plays bad.
Bro, Cronulla is not that great. That's why I keep saying to you, Cronulla's not that
But they're
good.
playing the Dragons, not like they're playing Canterbury or someone a lot better.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't
I'm being
think-
honest
I
here.
don't know. I reckon.
You know,
there's-
if for some reason everyone wants to return their players against us, like Cleary came back against us, Munster came back against us.
Hey, listen to this. Timothy Gray, the Dragons to win 50-4.
No, come on, Timothy.
Come on,
You're being
Timothy.
Nice, mate. You know what? I'd love for the Dragons to win. You know, return the favour back to you guys after last week. You tailed up the Dolphins. It'll be great. You know, I still love to play in the first week of the finals. You know, it'll be great
Yeah,
for the
that'd be
fans. It'll be great for rugby
Yeah,
league.
that'd be
But
great.
I just want to see a win by both sides this week. So
100%.
I just want to see the Sharks lose, to be honest. I hate
you know, I know you want that.
Everyone
top
hates
four
the
spot.
Sharks.
I know
Bill,
yous
Bill,
want
our
it.
producer,
And you know what?
saying he also hates
You
the
guys
Sharks.
actually deserve the top 4 spot. I'll be honest to you. You know, like Cronulla.
I agree.
Honestly, I'll be honest here. When Cronulla was top of the table, every week I was saying these guys are overachieving or they're getting ridden home by the ref.
Bro,
And I'll stand by it.
Bro, they've had easy draws. They get
they've
ridden
been
home by the
exposed.
ref, and now they're vulnerable. They are not.
They're very vulnerable.
They're not that great. They're not that great. That's what I say.
They're not in the.
That's why I reckon the
You
Dragons.
guys are more of a threat.
That's why I think that.
pretenders as their number one fans.
Yeah, our producer Billy just said that they are as much pretenders as their number one fan,
Slow mo.
Scott Morrison,
Slow-mo.
the absolute clown of a politician, clown of a prime minister. You know, it's no surprise that he's
Slow-mo.
their number one. Yeah.
Does he even get job offers? Since
Scummo, I don't know. Bro.
Has he been even
The
getting?
guy's
job?
got a pension.
It reminds
for
me
the
of
rest his
John
life
Howard.
for
He couldn't
being
get a
wanker.
job offer once he finished up.
Anyway, so
Anyway, we're here to talk
give us
footy.
a thumbs up if you're still here. Give us a thumbs up if you're still enjoying it. Give us a thumbs up if you love all the content that we're putting out. Now, what are your thoughts on Nathan Cleary's injury? Do you think that the Panthers can still win it without Nathan Cleary?
Well, they beat Roosters if you like missing him. So, oh, you mean the premiership?
Yeah, premiership.
I think he's back before though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's back. But let's say
When's
his
he
injury
back
gets
though?
worse.
How long they diagnosed? 4 to 6 weeks.
4 weeks, I think they're saying.
Oh, okay. Gets harder. I reckon they can go 4 in a row. I'm not throwing in the towel on them going 4 in a row. It's a lot harder this year.
Yeah.
It is. Like, I know Penrith beat them. Canterbury's resurgent. You still got to have them as the favourites. It's only the fair thing to do. I know they're in second spot. They had a bit of injuries this year, but I reckon they'll have their full team firing when it matters.
Even without Cleary there, like they're still big favourites. Like I think, if you look at what Cronk did with the Roosters, where he played
Spot
with
on,
the
Jordan.
injured,
Yep.
with the injured arm. Can Cleary come in and do the same type of job for the Panthers? I think he can, unless he comes up against the Doggies, which he can't. But other than that, I think it's.
Sorry, Steve. I think you'll be all right, Steve. I mean, I think Bronson will still be up for it, despite what's happened off the field.
So Steve's just mentioned in the comments that his brother was involved in a car accident that caused the fatality. He may not have travelled with the team to New Zealand, but I think they've already left. They've gone there early to New Zealand.
Is his brother all right?
Well, his brother should be fine. I think. Hopefully, nothing was mentioned. So hopefully he's okay. So Eli Clark might get a chance to debut.
Yep.
In place of Sherry. He's a freak of a player. He's a fantastic player. Zata was mentioning in terms of the Panthers, don't discount Romy. I love Luai. He's right. You can't discount what he can bring to that Panthers side. And
the McLean brothers.
The McLean brothers.
They're going to be classy.
Mate, they really
are. One of them
are.
already reminds you of Crichton.
It's spot on, the running style. And
already reminds you of Crichton.
It's
bloody hell.
It's amazing. Now, Jordan, I'm not sure. Steve, if you can give us some clarification on whether that happened recently or not, that'd be great.
Cherry brother Troy is back behind bars after being accused of a violent home invasion while on parole of a car crash that killed mum.
Yeah,
so ages ago.
Yeah, so the car crash did happen a while ago, but there's a car crash happened ages ago, but apparently, his brother did something silly and he's locked up for it or whatever. So the car crash happened a while ago. So I think Bronson will be fine and he'll play and he'll put on a good clinic for the Bulldogs. FIFA Clips is saying, I reckon Dogs send SJ home with a belting. I agree. I think that they'll
he is home.
they'll keep him there with a big belting. Jordan, repeat offender. Yeah, no probs. You're right. It's a shame, but I think Bronson. I don't think you can charge Bronson with the sins of his brother. Dibbo, is there anything that you wanted to sort of discuss on the podcast while we still have the audience here?
What do you guys reckon is your best 17? Do you have your best... if you add in Max King, do you reckon that's your best 17? Like, do you guys think he's got your strongest lineup? Is there anyone there that you like to see come in? I just want to know. Do you think there needs to be any positional changes? Or are you guys happy with what you see? I think Canterbury's got their strongest 17 once you add Max King in.
I think that is our strongest 17. I don't... Like, Max King, for example, for me, would be...
Was Addo Carr's back? I think he's in your best 17.
I'll be honest with you. I think that Wilson is in our best 17. I don't know where he fits.
Where with Addo Carr?
It's just one of those things. I don't
know, man. It's weird. I don't see a Hayward in your. I think he can be off. I think you can have Salmon in your 17 rather than Hayward.
They sort of serve the same purpose. I agree with you, but at the same time,
because you know what, I just feel like you got the small body in. I don't know if you even call him a small body anymore.
Morin. Yeah. But look, I think the good thing about Hayward is he comes on, he gives Morin some time, he adds a lot to our defence and a lot to our attack. He can replace Miney at 9. So, I don't know. I think our one weakness is our goal kicking, as Jamie Teasdale's just mentioned. We need to be a little bit better when it comes to that. Burton needs to have a higher kicking average, especially when it comes to the finals where every point is going to matter. That's what I think our weaknesses are.
I look at Canterbury this year and just how miserly their defence is, and sometimes I think to myself, how did they just concede a try? Like, you get me? It's criminal they sometimes concede a try.
Yeah, I'm with you, but
it's actually miserly the way they defend.
We're not. Look, perfection is very hard to achieve, but our defence is close to that. It is,
Well, even the way that when Sloane scored against you guys, I'm like, ooh.
But that was hard to defend against.
Yeah, but you guys have defended a lot better than that the whole year.
That was a great. It was quite that was a great play, bro. You got to say that was a very good pass from Leilua.
If a team does that five times against you in the game, you aren't going to defend it once.
No, but that's not the way you look at it. I think that the Bulldogs can adapt their defense to the way the team is attacking. So if that happens once, I think we can adapt to it and stop it happening again. But a one-off is hard to... why didn't they do it, for example? They tried. They did try.
They intercepted one of them. But I understand if a team scores against you as a kick, off a kick, they're hard to defend. Maybe you get a ricochet and all that. I don't know. It's just.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think Canterbury should just keep going. They'll have to lift up the intensity when the finals come. So, they obviously expect the other teams to lift.
Yeah, I think we'll lift. But I want to talk about refereeing.
It's scary where they can go.
Oh man, look,
From a Dragons perspective.
I think we can go all the way. I genuinely believe that there's nothing to say we can't go all the way.
There's of course you're right. Especially if he's win your next 3, and I think he's will. And then whoever gets is in the first week. I feel sorry for them. And then the second week and the third week, I kind of feel like Melbourne don't want to play his week 1. Especially that first game you guys gave him. I think he's only played him once this year.
Once, and we lost by 2.
And I remember Munster after the game saying we didn't deserve to win that. Honestly, that was a good comp. That's pretty much a compliment.
Even Bellamy was saying that our defense and our intensity was great. Timothy Gray's asked a great question. He's saying Eli Clark is doing a better job in Cup with the goal kicking. Look, I agree, but Burton at this point is our goal kicker. We're just going to have to live with it.
I'd go with Burton as well. Taking the kicking away from him might affect him. Who knows, mentally or psychologically? Yeah. You never know. So I'd still give it to him. I mean, it's not like his goal kicking's costing you games. It's not, is it? I don't think so.
No, it has cost us a few. Melbourne, the Raiders, Rabbitohs, Cowboys missed a couple of kicks. Timothy's also asked, do you think we will see Daniel Fafita in the side before the finals? I don't think we'll see Daniel Saluka Fafita in the top grade this year at all. He's only been playing off the bench 20 to 25 minutes a week. He's running on average about 12 meters a run.
I'll tell you now, if he's consistent in the off season and he gets his, keeps going out, he'll definitely play first grade next year. He definitely will next year.
Jamie, Jamie's saying that Burton should kick on one side and Critter kick on the other. That's just not how it works. No. It's not feasible.
You can't get into your rhythm.
Yeah. There's just one person has to take the kicking. Why I think Burton is the kicker is because we didn't have a consistent alternative other than Critter, and I think Critter's already got enough responsibility. That's why I think Burton's the one. Does Burton give the kicking up to Sexton next year? If Sexton gets re-signed, I think we see Sexton become the full-time kicker. But look, I think the team's going good enough where that's not something we have to be too concerned with. When we make the grand final, do you think it will sell out and maybe even extend the stadium? Look, if the Dogs win, make it past the second round of the finals, I think you're going to have 30,000 Bulldogs fans buying grand final tickets. That's genuinely the way I look at it. Guys, in the comments, everyone that's still there, we have 62 people. Is there anything in particular that you guys wanted to talk about? We've been streaming for almost 2 hours. It's been absolutely a blast, but we do have to let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your night. It's been great once again. Thank you to everybody that's signed on as a member. Thank you to everybody that's joined us for the stream. We had an average of about 60 people. And it's been just so much fun. It's just fantastic. The Dogs are going great. The Eels are going shit. What more could you really want?
You know what? I'll tell you what. Now you touched on the Eels. We could potentially got the Spoon Bowl round 27.
It will absolutely be the
Spoon Dragons knock them over round 26, and we set ourselves up nicely for the Spoon Bowl.
And then
the Tigers got a bye. Don't forget.
And we put the final nail in the coffin for the Eels, and they get the spoon. I think it'll be a lot of fun just seeing the Eels go from playing a grand final 2022 to a spoon in 2024. And look, to be honest, actually Mike Cool's made a very, very, very good point. So there were some messages going around that apparently some Warriors fans in Auckland are looking to cause a ruckus with Doggies fans.
Never. They're not the types. Sorry.
This Friday night.
Never.
I'm very cautious of taking any of those Facebook or...
I've never seen the Warriors fans. They're probably the most positive fans we got out there. I think it's always just good for banter.
Yeah, I reckon
it's a load of BS. Bullshit. Sorry, I'll stick up for the Warriors fans.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that everybody's going to want to go there and just enjoy Sean Johnson's final home game. I genuinely don't think that anything's going to happen. Look, Dogs fans, if you guys are there, just keep, stay away from any problems. Don't let yourselves get baited by idiots, which honestly I don't think will happen. I don't think there'll be any issues, hopefully, in the crowd. Quickly, Zata is saying there's no enjoyment without you talking. Thanks, bro. That means a lot. Put your money where your mouth is. But I appreciate that.
I don't even know who this Oregano is, but
yeah. And FIFA Clips, we sort of touched on it earlier. I don't think Campbell Gillard is needed for the Dogs. I think we have enough players. We have enough youngsters that we can use. I don't really think we need him because we've signed Tom Amone and Tupanua. But if he does come along for the right price, I'm okay with that. I'm okay if he gets signed for a good price.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you got Tupinua next
Yeah,
year.
he's not. I mean, he's not going to set the world on fire for us, but you know, he's.
Some of those years for Roosters, he was setting the world on fire. He had a few injury problems.
Who's that?
Tupinua.
Now I'm talking about Campbell Gillard. I think Tupinua's going to be amazing for us.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
No. I think Tupinua's going to be incredible. I think he's a mad signing. I can't wait for him to play for us.
Yeah, that's a good
legit.
signing, yeah.
No, legit. I can't wait for him to play with us. But Campbell Gillard won't set the world alight. Will be a good signing, but overall, it's not that great.
You're going to jump on the Campbell Gillard again. So from next year, I'm going to hear, he's a mad forward. And
Nah.
I suppose the previous years,
he'll probably play very well for us in the system.
I remember in previous years, as soon as Gillard was in the New South Wales team, Elmo would just bypass the whole team and start on Campbell Gillard.
Bro, come on.
Just absolutely tear him a new one. You know?
Come on. Can you compare him to Payne Haas or Spencer Leniu or Mitch Barnett? Like, you can't.
But he's a great forward. Like, he's a good forward. He's one of the better ones in the comp. Obviously.
No, he's not.
Payne Haas comes for $1 million.
Nah, he's not one of the better
How much
ones.
are you getting
comp.
Campbell Gillard for? 600?
But too much, I think. That's
I
200
reckon-
too much. I think it's 200 too
it's good
much.
for him.
400 max.
Listen, you can pay $450 for Blake Laurie. Take him off our hands, please.
Brother, Blake Laurie-
Actually, you know what? We'll pay you to
Hang on,
take him.
Blake Laurie should book a one-way ticket to the UK and just play in the Super League.
We'll pay you to take him. So
No,
we're giving
thank
you
you.
an incentive. We'll
Right,
pay
no,
yous.
thank you. No,
we'll
thank
pay
you.
his whole salary, $450 as well.
No, thank you.
We'll pay his salary and pay you. How
And
about that?
with that, we want to thank everybody that's joined us. It's 9:15. We have been going for 2 hours. It's been an absolute blast. I can't wait to do this all over again next week after the Doggies smash the Wires and the Sharks lose to the Dragons. Thank you so much for joining. Please be sure to subscribe. Please be sure to share the podcast with your friends. Join us again next week at between 7 and 7:15. We'll be here. We'll be here to discuss next week. We'll be here to break down and analyze the game. Once again, it's always a blast. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Thank you so much for all your support and for joining us today. Up the Dogs.
Arrivederci.
Peace.